didn't update the schedule whatsoever on there. I'm so behind on shit. I need a secretary for the podcast just to upload our shit on there.
What does that pay? As long as it doesn't pay more than my position.
Just hand jobs, baby.
Maybe mouth jobs. Maybe Steve Jobs.
You're on the wrong screen, though.
Yeah, this isn't the black one.
We're not supposed to be visible yet.
I don't see anything.
We're watching us.
No one's watching you.
No, nobody's watching yet.
There we go. We have any guest tags today?
No.
Sweet.
Because I couldn't find anything from Dom.
It's like a goose.
Can't there be that's their first punishment?
Message them real quick.
Have you guys ever seen the Free Beer and Hot Wings show? Ever heard that?
Mm-mm.
I don't know what that means.
They're radio announcers on
Oh, yeah.
Free Beer, Hot Wings. It was Free Beer, Hot Wings, and Zane, but then...
Oh, Xanax?
Something happened, and he was exited from the show.
Shit.
What's up, Blue? What's up, Neil? Thank you guys for joining us. Alright, it's time.
Let me know when my girlfriend shows up.
You ready? Should we do this?
Why not?
Can you see us?
I can see you.
We're going to be very disorganized this episode. That's the fun of it, because we are not governed by reason, folks.
That's true.
And tonight is the season finale of season 11, guys.
Yeah.
Fucking 11 seasons. Last week was our 3-year anniversary.
We partied.
Oh my
It's
God.
been a wild
We
ride.
drank.
Man.
I said somebody was gonna go to jail.
Did anybody?
No.
I kind of feel like the back of your van is
But-
the jail.
Yeah.
Now that I heard that story, I believe yes, that's good enough.
Yeah,
No-
what about
Talking
no
to
bail.
Mike.
what about the dude that was shivving me in the ribs? Like, was he supposed to be there or in the back of the van?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had to put Josh in the back of a van this Sunday. Before we start that, I'd like to give a big shout out to Jesse Wilson and the guys at the East Coast for letting us come and celebrate 3 years of Not Governed by Reason.
I do have to say a special thank you to all of them, but I think Joe needs to go back and work on his math skills.
Yeah? Why?
He's lounging too much, and it's going to his head. You know, the picture with your hand up is his keister.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You deserved that.
he did though.
But no, it was fun.
It was great. It was amazing. They were fantastic.
So last year, for our 2-year anniversary, we did it at the Whiskey, and I got cut off on stage.
Yeah.
Right? This year, Josh got cut off.
Off stage.
Off stage.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing that he did. He almost fell over a banister.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Is next year my year?
Yes,
Sure.
next year is your year. But
You gotta stick with us though.
100%.
The tenure.
It-
They usually make it about 9 months.
Is that your longest producer? 9 months?
I think Mike was almost 2 years.
But he was off and on.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun as fuck. We're waiting for our guest to show up, so we're going to banter for a minute. We have aides coming from Wyoming, so we will have them showing up a little bit late because it's Wyoming people. But yeah, I mean, it was a fun time at the East Coast. It was a mix of our 3-year anniversary and a degenerate dance party meetup.
Why did you do that?
It was an experiment. I probably won't ever combine the two again.
Babies were conceived.
Yes. And, all of our comics killed it that night. We had, we had Greg Allen, Cody Cardinal, Eric Thompson, Patrick Bonner. Oh, fuck, I'm drawing blanks. Rosa Mariposa, Dylan Williams. Who else was on that?
That is all I remember.
Yeah, there were so many.
Don't lie, you don't remember that.
We pissed some people off that night, which wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be Not Governed by Reason without that.
That is true.
We pissed a newlywed couple off, which I'm pretty sure was a mail order bride situation.
Did she still have the barcode on her?
Yes, it
That's
was
how you know.
tattooed on her neck.
Yeah,
What's up, Megan?
That's how you know for sure.
Don't hate. Find love where you can find love, even if you have to pay for it.
Yeah. So, but it was all in all a good night. We made it home safe. Big shout out to DJ Gyro for pulling through on that. Big shout out to Kenny Iwasa and Mark Nees and the Sound of the Rockies guys for pulling through with that. It was fun. I played a set when I shouldn't have because I was way too drunk to be playing guitar. Played Xenophobe Pie.
Yeah, that was my favorite part.
Were you there for Xenophobe Pie?
I absolutely was. I'm pretty sure I got some of it. I'll have to send you guys the footage.
That'd be awesome. Xenophobe
How
Pie.
did it taste?
Delicious.
I bet.
I always forget the words of Xenophobe Pie.
Nobody could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's
the beauty
it's
of
the
the
trick.
song.
You make it so unprepared that you're always prepared.
By the end of the song, we all feel like we wrote it.
Yeah, exactly. It's the simple chorus that really brings people together. When we wrote the song, when Bradley wrote the song, he listened to 23 straight hours of Britney Spears to get, the hooks and shit.
And Travis Tritt.
And he got it. He nailed it.
I can hear it now.
Yeah, lots of Travis Tritt.
Mm-hmm.
But that Bradley, he knows how to perform. And one of my favorite things is hearing everybody sing just the powerhouse of a chorus. Something, Xenophobe Pie.
Yep.
It was amazing. But yeah, it was a good time. We thank everybody for showing up.
Yeah.
We plan on doing more live venue shows at the East Coast just because it feels like home.
It does.
It does.
It has that smell, the degenerate smell. It smells like home.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
With a little bit of farts and a little bit of paps.
Yeah.
Poured in the corner.
And a lot of whorish perfume.
Well, that was just us.
Yeah, of course, but
That's the only way we leave the house.
I might make my comedy debut this year.
I'd love that. You should.
Can you wear the bow tie all of the time?
Yeah, that's part of it. Okay. For sure.
When Dylan Williams first started doing comedy, he only performed in suits. Like really nice suits, and he quickly stopped that.
Do I have to break up with my girlfriend before I start doing comedy, or do I use her breaking up with me as part of my...
Both.
Yeah.
It helps. I've written some jokes that if I record them, I really try not to let the wife hear.
That's fair.
I'm just happy that you're married. You're married. That tells me that there's hope for a comedian to have a successful relationship.
It's
Well, he's new to comedy. There's still time.
Oh, okay.
I'm not new, but I'm newish.
Yeah, but you were in a band before, so...
I was in a band for years.
I feel like that's all kind of the same sort of...
And we were funny as fuck. We were also banned from a lot of places.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good night. We really can't thank Jesse and the East Coast family enough, and Joe. Yeah, it's good.
I want to say one more special thank you to the Dallas Cowboys for losing. Because that was happening.
What, that night?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it happened.
Was that the Steelers? Or
The
It was
Eagles.
yeah.
It's always sunny in Philadelphia, man.
Oh, they were playing... Okay, so who was the other teams playing?
Saints.
Saints?
Oh, no, it was the Saints Cowboys. That's right.
Saints Cowboys.
Yeah. They didn't lose to the Eagles. The Eagles suck.
Nolans.
Nolans.
Doesn't matter, I won my fantasy.
What, being tied up?
Yeah.
But that's...
Nice.
You won it.
So yeah, I don't know. I was drunk as fuck that night. Not nearly as drunk as some people though.
Yeah, right? Some people just can't handle their booze.
I unplugged Josh's mic on stage, and he didn't even know.
That was awesome.
And I just kept saying, "Oh, the batteries are dead."
What was so awesome about it was so early on.
Yeah.
It wasn't even...
Oh, it was only like a couple hours in.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. About 10:30 is the point in time where I stopped remembering things, and then I remember waking up in the back of the van at like 2:40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put you in the back of the van. I babysat Josh. I actually pulled a nice fatherly move.
Oh, man.
I put him in the back of the van. I fed him greasy ass Surfside pizza.
Oh, that's what I threw up.
Mm-hmm. Dude, that stuff's a mop, though. It's like the Surfside's food is made to absorb the fucking shit in you.
It's like the Marquise.
It's amazing. So yeah, Marquis.
I think we should go to our guest real quick.
Yeah. Oh, what are you guys doing?
Not being here.
Cool.
Swell.
So before they show up, should we
Yes.
tell a little story?
Sure. Oh yeah. Let's do that.
One of the guests that's gonna be here. Well, so the last time we saw AIDS was this night, and some of you who follow us might remember this night when we were asked to come to Wyoming.
Pay attention, everybody.
Yes,
Pay
this
attention.
you need to pay
It's
attention.
gonna
to
be a
this.
test.
Yes.
We were asked to go to Wyoming during Cheyenne Frontier Days last year. And this gentleman used to go under a moniker named Sister Fister. Or
No,
Mr.
Mr.
Fister. Mr. Fister as a stage name. Somebody else started performing under the name Mr. Fister up in Cheyenne. And so they started a battle. They had a battle, right? And it was like beer pong, Mario Kart, and then the strange food challenge. Yeah? And then some metal bands from Wyoming playing. And Nick, one of the guys in AIDS, he ended up he was in a sperm suit, like a super sperm suit, in the bathroom puking at the end of the challenge because it was like soy sauce, hot sauce, worms, and a few other things, and he's puking, and a gentleman sexually assaulted him.
His friend he invited.
Yes. Sexually assaulted him, and I had to throat check this fucking dude. And they're here.
Okay, we're gonna have to back up a little bit.
Yeah, Marcus, he
Just
he
real
didn't
quick.
get any of it.
When you say
Oh
that he
shit,
was,
what happened
that
there?
he was sexually assaulted,
Yes.
was he still wearing the sperm suit at
Yes.
the time?
In the bathroom vomiting.
The person that assaulted him, was this person completely clothed?
Yes.
So this just got weird.
Yeah, it was pretty weird.
And this was in the bathroom.
Yes.
Okay. And he's coming on tonight.
Yes.
Is he expecting us to talk about this?
No. Don't believe so.
Can we try to be subtle about bringing it up? It was something in the back. It was something behind the green screen that he kicked. Ladies and gentlemen, we're having slight technical difficulties. Nothing to be afraid of.
Boom!
Look at that. Good
What?
to go.
Did you see my butt crack?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually was able to zoom in on it.
You know what? I feel like if we ask Nick, he'll still have that sperm suit in the trunk of his car. We're gonna try to get it signed, not cleaned. We're gonna auction it off.
Okay. Is there video?
Yes. We will find it. I'll find it sometime tonight. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Why, hello.
Don't you hello me.
Oh,
Ahoy, hoy.
hello, hello.
Hey there.
It's Vertigo? I'd appreciate it if you didn't sing U2 at me, Marcus.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Bono has anything to do in this
Nothing.
situation.
Nothing ever.
Like, I think you say Bono to people just to curse at them.
Yeah.
We're here.
It's the new curse.
We are here.
All right, comfy.
What's up, guys?
What's up? How you doing?
Welcome our guests, AIDS
AIDS.
in the house. We've got Nicky Rax, who you have seen on
Not
here
Nicky
several
Rax.
times.
I don't know. I know that bastard, and he's a piece of shit. I'm Mr. Fister.
Oh, Mr. Fister. I apologize.
Yeah, fuck Nicky.
And Dom.
Hey, what's up?
You don't go by anything but Dom,
Alan
right?
Devastation.
Hmm?
Alan Devastation.
Alan Devastation.
They won't let you put anal devastation on stuff, so we just went with Alan.
But it's spelled anal, right?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
the French derivative.
Yeah. You just rearrange it a little
Yeah.
bit.
Well, welcome, guys. How was
Yeah.
the drive?
It was foggy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I believe it.
Anybody want a beer?
I'm good
There's
right
also some
now.
over there in the fridge if you're.
Actually, fuck it. Yeah,
There's
I'll
something.
take one.
We'll take a pass.
Oh yeah, pass one of them down.
All right.
Foggy, though, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit foggy.
We're all a little foggy.
the camera's a little weird right
Yeah.
Oh, he's wearing green. That's why.
Darn army jackets.
So let's have a little talk about Mr. Fister, shall we?
Sure.
You don't want to know that story. That's a deep rabbit hole and ends up with a lot of drugs in your system.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought you said you wanted. Did you want?
Now hold on to it.
Oh, you hold on to it. All right.
You got a big desk.
Actually, it
where's
started
this
out
guy
as
going?
just, it was Mr. Fister and the Cooter Punchers.
Mm-hmm.
And we were a band, and the whole premise of that band was to mock the music scene. Because everywhere we go, everybody was cliquish, real, like, asshole with everybody else if you were outsiders. And so we were like, we're going to mock the music scene. So we made a band just purely trying to annoy people. And people loved it.
What if you had made it big?
Dude, there was actually at points in times that we were actually getting booked for that band more than bands that I was trying to be serious in.
But wouldn't you have to like dissolve the entire thing? Like as soon as someone's like, "We're gonna sign you," you're like, "Well, now we can't play. We can't do this anymore."
Oh hell no!
No.
The only reason people would have signed us was because of how ridiculous we were. If anything, we would have probably tried to triple up on it. We would have been like, "This is how we got to where we are."
Nice.
We need to be more of that.
Yeah, the whole thing was just a joke, and a lot of people got it, and some people didn't. So
We've been
either it
kicked
was
out of every venue
Oh,
that
yeah.
we've ever played,
Every
except the Golden Q.
the Golden Q, which we have a
We
song
have a
about,
song about that. Yeah.
which was
So-
an epic night.
Why weren't you kicked out of the Golden Key?
Because we were supposed to be the headliners, and we opened. We played with some friends of ours, and one of them's passed away, so the songs are actually kind of dedicated to him. But it was a weird night, but it was our kind of crowd. Everybody that was already there were pretty liquored up and thought we were fucking funny. And then everybody else after us was pretty disappointing, so I figured we did good.
Well, everybody after us was our friend Mighty Mike's band at the time. I think it was.
What's up,
Ugly
Adrian?
Bumpers?
Was it Stinkfinger or Ugly
I
Bumpers?
think it was the Ugly Bumpers.
Yeah.
And then the AOKs were supposed to be there, but like their horn section didn't show up or something.
Yeah.
Like half the band didn't show, so it ended up being just the weirdest show ever. We opened the show, we were supposed to close. We saw some old lady titties.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, that was the scariest fucking thing, right? This lady walks up and her face looks like a fucking baseball glove that's been wet and left in the fucking desert to dry, okay? And she's talking about, oh, I just graduated out of college. I'm like, well, it sounds like you're pretty fucking snickered. And so she's talking and she goes, you want to see something? I'm like, no. No, and like I knew where this was going. And she's boom, and they were just the scariest set of tits I've ever seen.
They almost killed tits for you.
Oh yeah, dude! I slammed my guitar into my stack, trying to turn around to run away. It was a horrifying moment.
I'm gay now.
You know, I contemplated life afterwards.
I would have too. Yeah, that might have sobered me up, actually.
Well, the rest of the night was a pretty, like you had to get drunk to try to forget, and
Yeah.
it was like reoccurring a nightmare over and over again after each shot.
Shivers. So, being in a band called AIDS and the themes that you guys carry with you, how is it in a state like Wyoming being that? You know, like a pretty conservative state.
We don't get any shows.
we
are unbookable.
Not when you're banned from every venue, yeah.
Yeah,
When
well,
we've been
no,
kicked out of
there's-
everywhere. That
we're-
makes it hard.
We
too.
can play. There's a few bars that we can play and stuff like that, and they enjoy our shenanigans and stuff like that.
How can you be a band in Wyoming? We don't get shows. We don't play there.
Yeah.
We can't.
Well, you know, but you also got to understand, because it is such a small city. If we play 3 or 4 times a year, we get a good turnout. You play every month, and you won't.
You're not pulling the people
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
same way. Yeah.
And
Oversaturate
and it's
yourself.
kind of, well, it's funny, like the only bands there that everybody comes out to see are really like cover bands. And they play Friday night at this bar, and next week they'll play Saturday night at this bar, and they'll
Oh,
have
I
a
found
small
out
group.
about an open mic bar. The Pepper Mill.
Yeah,
They'll let. We need to go get kicked out of there.
that's one place we haven't been.
Yeah, I think it's Friday nights too.
Sweet.
So-
I'll run it by Van. Double A's dad.
I'll go.
Runs it.
I do see it changing up there. You know,
Yeah.
I've seen some shit going on lately, like bigger bands, not so much the the country western shit,
Well-
but you're starting to like Mushroom Heads
Mushroom
playing there
Heads
this
are
month.
great.
See,
and-
we've had for years and stuff. We've had it when I was a teenager. Green Day came through
Mhm.
before they were even signed to a major label, and they're still just playing off a little small little punk label.
Right.
You know, so we've had
Kerplunk.
we've had bands come through over time. Like with my other band, we played with Static X.
Mhm.
They've had Hell Yeah through there, or not Hell Yeah. What's that? Hellstorm. I
Mhm.
mean, so they've had.
I could see that,
Yeah,
though,
they've
like
had quite a
Hailstorm
few
and shit.
things go
Five Finger
through.
Death Punch. Meth rock, you know.
Yeah. Well,
Meth
yeah.
rocks?
Yeah,
What,
that's-
do you got any?
I don't. Fresh out.
Well, fuck, dude.
But I mean,
I've
it
got
is a
joke
different
thinking
world.
about it.
Like Laramie is kind of more.
Well, in Laramie, it's actually harder for metal bands to play there than it is other things.
Well, punk bands seem to
Yeah.
be pretty.
Punk bands are big there, but they have a huge like jam band thing. You get
Yeah.
a lot of jam bands,
College
bands come through there and stuff. So
I mean, I saw the Melvins play the VFW in Laramie.
Nice.
Like that was fucking cool as shit. And but Cheyenne's a different world. You've got a huge rodeo population, cowboy
Yeah.
population. You've got a huge military population. It's just interesting, like to see.
yeah, well, and it's also the Cheyenne's like the capital. So
Yeah.
like it's funny. Like you go to Laramie and you can go into like Walmart and buy your liquor. You go into Walmart in Cheyenne, you can't buy alcohol.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, and they have a bunch of like weird rules and stuff about like you can't have minors in the bar unless there's a barrier between the bar and them.
Right.
So like
Like a
And
fence?
yeah.
what the fuck is with all the fucking bars selling packaged liquor? Too.
Well,
like
'cause
that's a
the-
weird thing
Well,
to me.
I'm telling you, dog, it comes in handy. Like I've been snickered a couple times, and I know the
Keep that
liquor
up.
store's closed, so I can just pay extra here for this shit
Right.
and go home. But like, yeah, it's weird. Every bar does it.
In a lot of drive-through liquor stores, like I got a shotgun pulled on me
Yep.
because it used to be that you couldn't buy liquor here on Sundays.
Yeah.
So we'd have to go to Cheyenne to buy liquor. To find a keg in Cheyenne is really fucking hard for one.
Well, there's
You have to fill out a stupid amount of paperwork
yeah. Well, it's because
for it.
all of us stole the kegs and taps. and
Yeah,
never returned
it's
that
a
shit.
felony if you remove a tag from it.
Yeah.
But so I went to this place. We're looking for a fucking keg. I went to this place. I shit you not. It was called like Kegs and Corks.
Yeah. That's,
Keg and
And
yeah.
walked in
Dude,
there,
AJ's
not
never
realizing
there.
it was just a drive-through liquor store, and dude pulled a shotgun on me.
Yeah.
And
Well, there's a bar in the back, but they don't allow people in the front no more after a certain hour.
right. Well, I didn't know that. You know, I just walked in. I saw the keg and cork. I'm like, oh sweet, they have kegs. They didn't have kegs, by
No.
the way.
I
False
think
advertising.
there's only like 2 or 3 places in town that you can get kegs.
More newer liquor stores.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
say.
Well, I don't know. I guess it's just a variety of places.
Mhm.
But the funny thing is, like, we have a lot of places. Like, you go to Evanston, Wyoming, dude, and you can walk in there and you can buy your groceries, your guns, your ammo,
Mhm.
and your liquor all in the same place.
Oh yeah.
You know, so like, there's a lot of places like that through Wyoming. Cheyenne's not.
No, Evanston's a different fucking territory in itself.
Oh.
Rock Springs is different, you know. Evanston, you get that border town mentality, like
Well,
lots
yeah,
of
'cause
porn
all the-
shops
all-
and shit
all-
from
all-
Utah.
All the real lushes from Utah drive up there on the weekends and
Mm.
buy their shit because they can get real alcohol.
Cheaper.
When you're not buying it from a cop, you feel a little bit safer.
I did go to a liquor store and there was a cop.
Yeah.
Working the
So
liquor store.
Virginia's the same way. When we went out to play a show in Virginia, it was a real weird, like, because it's a Commonwealth. It's a
Mhm.
Providence or some shit. Commonwealth. You go in and you go like, oh, I want a fifth of Captain Morgan, and it's like a lady's like a bank teller. She goes and pulls out your withdrawal, a fifth of Captain Morgan. Like, they show you the bottles. This what you want? Yeah. They put it down under the counter, hand me money, and you're like, dude, like, how many times have you been robbed? Like, that's
Yeah.
like the protocol.
Well, Virginia is a different fucking world in itself too. I mean,
Well, yeah, they have. They only sell alcohol till like 5 o'clock. They don't sell it on the weekends. And,
and they only sell it. You can only buy a certain amount
yeah,
at a time.
per person.
Well, it's like in Utah trying to find a fucking liquor store that will actually sell liquor
Yeah.
is fucking weird. It's 3-2 beer.
Well, it makes sense why there's a rapid epidemic of heroin use there.
Oh, yeah.
It's easier to get hardcore narcotics than it is to get some booze.
It's true. It's true. And the Mormon Church was a big push in the pharmaceutical
Yeah.
realm because it's not a sin to help with medicine.
No, because they have their dirty dick digglers in that shit, you know? Like, when you own the company that's making the pills, sure, I'm going to press it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. They own chunks of Pepsi and stuff like that.
Yeah, which is funny because, like, they
You're
say
not supposed
caffeine.
to drink caffeine.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, that's
not-
okay. They believe in their gods on a different planet, and he's the only one that'll reprocreate and stuff. It really sounds like a really alienistic religion, but it's funny.
It
Like,
is.
you look, I read a story with this guy. He was a huge core satanic Satanist, right? He went up in the ranks of the Satanic Church, and he left it, denounced it, and got into Mormonism and worked the way up. And he goes, dude, these are the same ceremonies.
Yeah. Same rituals.
Yeah.
We were talking about Mormonism on Sunday at our 3-year anniversary party, and the way I always explain it is it's like the Scientology of Christianity.
Yeah.
You know, very kind of same structures with the planet thing, and if you have enough people to vouch for you and you follow the rules just right, you get your own planet. And
Well, you know, like a thing I thought was funny is like, you know, you became a big time religion when you get your own special police force.
yeah.
You know, like, and it's funny like how you can get shunned from that church and like the whole community will quit helping you and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, yeah, quick.
Yeah.
But missionaries for the Mormons are fucking hardcore when you compare them to like the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah.
You can chase a Jehovah's Witness away quick. The missionaries for the Mormons will keep coming back.
Well.
And because they get points if they get you, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, I always like thought it was funny when they came up to ask me like, "Can I talk to you about our Lord and Savior?" I'm like, "Yes." And I got some stuff for you. And I used to, my girlfriend or ex-wife's dad used to work for a magazine company, so I got free porn.
Mhm.
It always came with the DVDs, so I used to hand those out like they were Pez. Like, dude, so they would come up and like, "Can I talk to you about God?" I'm like, "Yeah, have some porn." And they're like, "Ah."
Where's this guy been my whole life?
Yeah, that's a win-win situation.
I used to have these missionaries show up once every week or so. And they'd come in. I'd invite them in. You know, we'd talk for a bit. I'd get high in front of them and talk with them. And they just keep coming back. And they disappeared for a little bit. And then came back with this, like, special edition Mormon Bible that had been, like, with a note from the elders and shit in there. And after that, I never saw them.
Yeah.
It was weird. They're hardcore with it. Because it's a selfish religion in that sense. The more people they can convert, the more people they have to vouch for them. Same as with the kids. If they have enough kids, they'll vouch for them.
Well, and you look at it though, it's a money population thing. You look how like rich the Christian church is and stuff like that, or the Catholic church is and stuff. Like there's a lot of money moving around and stuff. And the funny thing is like when my aunt was Mormon, like whenever something happened, the church would help her and step up and stuff. But you had to like do so much for the church and be so involved in the church, and it's like, so it's kind of cool that they do that. But there's, you know, they're funneling some serious drug money in some cases.
Well, and I know that they do help their people who stick with it, but it's just weird. I've seen people get banished for being gay. You know.
Well, I've read stories about like people. Somebody got baptized for Michael Jackson? That way, Michael Jackson can get in heaven.
Right.
Yeah, like, and you can be baptized to have the black taken away from you. I'm not to be mean, brother.
No,
but, like,
but that's real.
That's stuff that
That's
really
real.
goes on in there.
In the church, if you're a minority, like they do not recognize. So they have tiers in the Mormon Church, I would call it. And that's why it was so big on them going over into Africa, because they consider them, what do you call it, untreatable, or, you know, unsavable, I guess is a way to put it. And so it's fucked up in that sense. You'll never make it above a certain tier if you're black, Mexican, and it's starting to take over in Mexico now, the Mormon Church. Mitt Romney's chunk of it is...
All of my friends growing up until I was 12 were Mormon.
Where'd you grow up?
Because in the military.
Oh,
My
yeah.
dad was an officer in the military at the time. There wasn't a lot of black officers, but the officers were segregated from enlisted men. and there were like all of the officers were Mormon. So there were, I mean, our neighborhood was rampant with springs and summers and winters and deer trails, like all, and they were, in the yearbooks, they were 100%
Well,
to
so
succeed, best athlete, most compassionate, like it was their entire family.
you get a certain amount of points for joining the military. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure, if I'm
Well,
not
yeah,
mistaken.
no,
Serving.
Yeah, serving it for the greater cause. But they also look at it as a recruitment technique too, by them
Mhm.
joining into the service.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's like everything. Every
Everything's
aspect
about
of it,
recruitment.
yeah, every aspect about it is getting more people in.
And they just now allowed it to where same-sex couples can be in the church,
Yeah,
but they can't be baptized.
no, and they can't be married under the church's
No,
guidance.
but they can go.
Yeah.
And their kids, though, if they have adopted children, can be
Yeah,
baptized now,
Yeah.
which has got to be fucking
yeah,
weird. Like,
yeah. Like you're gonna sit there and drown the little bastard, but you
Mhm.
haven't drowned yourself.
Well, I mean, but the kid's gonna grow up knowing that you're not.
Check out this
you're not
spider.
saved.
Well, yeah,
The
well,
spider?
Yeah, dude.
Can you imagine?
Crawling along over here?
Can you imagine trying to ground that kid?
yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, yeah.
He's like,
well,
"Bro, you
at the end of the
can't
day,
get
he's
him
like,
up
well, it doesn't matter. You're not going to heaven.
Cam
like a
says the
jar or
world-famous Astro Lounge in Rock Springs.
What about it?
He just
Piece
That's
of
all he
shit.
says.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Oh God, I'm gonna kill it.
Is
Don't
it a big
kill
one?
it.
I'm gonna kill it.
Why would you kill it?
Kill it. Why not?
I hope it kills you.
Oh, there's that.
Hey, you got some
That'd be
papers,
good.
man?
Oh, Josh
That's a
already
paper.
fucking committed murder
Oh,
on it.
you son
Yeah,
of a bitch.
fucking-
I don't know. I think it's
Hold on.
funny. Utah, because of their getting federal taxes, has changed some of their rules
Yeah.
around it, like the age requirements for marriage and
Yeah.
shit like that.
Well,
where-
they had to because a lot of their stuff. You look at like the old book and stuff. They were really allowed to have one man to have multiple wives
Oh, yeah.
and stuff
the
like that.
polygamy aspect.
Yeah, and a lot of that. The reason why that was when it first started is the men, when they went there, most of the men died off real quick because of starvation and other things. that they ran
Disease
into.
and-
Yeah,
And women.
yeah. And well, the women.
They probably died of women.
Well,
That happens.
yeah,
They'll kill you.
yeah. Well, they're
They'll kill
vicious.
you.
If not physically.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that
so-
whole
Totally
term,
over time.
can't live with them, can't live without them, you know.
But so Colorado though has no age restriction on marriage. And
No.
so a lot
But
of
a lot of
times
it
they'll
has-
come over here and get married
Yeah.
and then
Well, it still has to be signed off,
yeah.
and that's the reason why there's a lot of gypsies travel around to certain places
Mm.
because they're part of their ceremonies. You're married off at like 13, 14 years old.
Oh yeah.
You know, and not all the time is it the same age group. Like she might be 13, he might be 17, kind of thing. And so a
Mhm.
lot of states really frown on that stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know, all I'm
They
saying is
probably
like,
should.
I don't think you have any idea what fucking marriage is if you're not able to run to the bar and get drunk.
100%. I got married when I was 20 years old, and when I was about 25, I thought to myself, you should never be able to get married if you can't even go to the bar.
Yeah. You should be able to at least go and hide out and
Yeah.
get drunk somewhere and woe your sorrows.
Yeah.
One of the good things about the Mormon religion when you're married is it says that a woman is not allowed to like disrespect their husband in certain ways. So
Yeah.
you don't have to deal with the nagging.
Well, there's a lot of.
I'm just kidding.
There's a lot of heard behind closed doors things like.
Mhm.
Like a lot of, they have a higher rate of domestic violence and shit like that.
It. I believe it. It's such a weird religion. They follow prophecies of a 16-year-old.
Yeah, reading tablets made out of gold that
Oh
relate
yeah,
to
through
you.
a seer's stone. Dude, that's my favorite part of the Mormon religion is that book reads like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It does. If you don't take it seriously, you're like J.R.R. Tolkien, go fuck yourself wrote this.
Yeah. I mean, he has got to be a clever fucking 16-year-old.
But how is that any weirder than the other religions?
Well, it depends on how you look at it.
Does
like-
the thought of a God and a heaven and a hell, is that much different?
I don't think
Well,
it's...
you look at like Buddhism. Buddhism isn't like he didn't really even talk so much about heaven and hell. It was more reincarnation.
Yeah. You still
But
have
the
same
thing
soul.
is what he pointed out is half of our fucking problems and our sorrows and our anguish and pain is our desire for things that are outside of our reach.
Right.
You know, so what he's really talking about is be happier and content, and you'll be reincarnated as something better.
Live without the regret aspect. And
But if you don't believe in a miracle of a religion, how can you believe in the miracle of another religion? Like, because if you believe in Buddhism, then you're believing that the same soul.
Well, the guy that
bodies.
created Buddhism was a real guy, and he was kept away from his family, from the poverty and all that stuff. And so when he left the castle in the palace yards, he saw all this heartache and death and stuff like that, and he went on a mission to change that. He never once said that he saw gods and he was created by all the stuff about heaven and hell.
He saw the things that needed a society to work
better
and
stuff.
to work better.
In that case, but
we can't prove that Jesus didn't walk this earth.
We
I'm not
can't
saying
prove that he did either.
No.
Okay, you look at the things that the Christians claim that happened. But my whole thing is you look at all the great philosophers at that time period, right? Aristotle's and all these people. Not one of those motherfuckers say a damn thing about a guy that's doing miracles. He fed a fucking village of people with a fish and a loaf of bread. Come on, motherfucker! Like that shit's gonna travel like a motherfucker. That shit's gonna go around.
I need a friend like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But if you look at all religions, they all gather in the same moral teachings. They push the same moral aspects of what's going to make a society.
Love the people next to you and do good at each other.
Right.
Put out what you get, you know. And that's the one thing I like Buddhism for. He was kind of just like, yeah, all right, we're going to wipe all this shit out. You don't need that. Do this, this, and this, and you'll fucking have a good life, man.
Yeah.
Just be a good person.
Yeah.
I think you're about the Mormon church that is crazy is you look at what the Catholic Church did for thousands of years, you know, and the shit that they did to get to the point that they were at, and how fast the Mormon church got that kind of growth.
Oh, yeah.
It was in a crazy short amount of time compared to anywhere else or any other religion.
Well, you got to think about it, though. They kind of had like an exclusivity. Like either A, you had to come to here and live here and follow these rules, or you weren't part of us.
Right.
And that's essentially when people going through Utah, either A, you went through Utah and kept moving, or you converted.
Yeah.
And that's, they made a stronghold.
The VIP shit.
They also had polygamy. So dudes could have like multiple pussy. And I mean, that's got to be a pretty big
Never
selling
underestimate the power to get multiple pussy.
Exactly, right? And then all the chicks that you marry got to be cool with it.
Yeah,
so, I mean, like,
they have to help each other.
They have to be sister wives.
Yeah. So, and I mean, for one guy, that's back in the day, that was probably tits up. That was the bee's knees.
I think now for a lot of people, it's tits
see,
up,
right?
No,
that kind of servitude.
I'm not saying I do.
That's
either,
not
but
all
I
I'm
think
saying
there's
is,
certain.
like, I have enough time keeping the one I
100%.
have happy. Like,
Yes.
But you also think about it. They had to follow his rules, so it was like
Exactly.
my law or no way. So
Exactly. So you
shut
didn't
up.
have to worry about
Yeah.
keeping them happy or care,
Yeah.
I should say, about keeping them happy.
I don't know. Until you have one woman actively not talk to you while you live with her in the same house for like a week, 2 weeks, a month, I feel like you don't need multiple of that going on.
Eric,
dude.
how do I become a
All
Mormon?
I'm saying is at one point in time they all menstruate and then they're all gonna fucking be ravenous.
Because they're going to be synced.
Yeah,
At some point.
yeah.
The moon works in mysterious ways.
That's when you keep them in the closet, like locked in together.
There used to be a Mormon thing with that where if a woman was menstruating, they actually kept them separate
Because they're
and
unclean.
You have to.
right. Not so much
Well,
now,
they also
but
did some weird shit during childbirth too.
the midwife shit.
Yeah, like the guy wasn't allowed to be in there. Like,
Right.
you
But
know.
Scientology's the same way.
Well, Scientology's even more fucked up. That bitch can't make a sound during childbirth because it invokes the ability for the demon to come in her. There's like, dude, I'm telling
no,
you,
seriously.
like you got to be a hardcore motherfucker. Because I have a son. I've seen what happens in childbirth. Like that thing's
ever
come
see a
tearing out
horse
like
blink?
a fucking yeah.
The midlife thing in Mormonism is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, because if you're a deep Scientologist, not Mormonism, but Scientologist, you can arrange marriage and shit like that. Like Beck is like a third or fourth generation Scientologist. His mom is a really well respected midwife in the church. They arranged the marriage with him and Giovanni Ribisi's sister.
Well, and there's
weird.
a weird deal too, because a lot of those people they have what they call like a spiritual follower, and he comes and guides them on the course and stuff. And like they have to everybody that watches that kid has to be a special person through the Scientology.
And report back on it.
Yeah, and what the kid does and how the kid acts. I know they make them do all kinds of tests from like birth on too.
And I find it interesting, like what's Joseph Smith, right? So he didn't have when he developed Mormonism, his family wasn't active. Like he didn't have he didn't know who his mom was, like all sorts of shit like that. And so there's a thing with who he's related to, and so the Mormon Church has the largest genealogical record database on the fucking planet. They know more about your genealogy than you do.
Yeah, well,
and it's not just people in the church.
Well, the first few those genealogy things and stuff like that actually started our Mormon-based companies and stuff because they can trace
Ancestry
their
Ancestry is
a Mormon-based
23andMe is part of it, and
see that shit's just gotten scary to the point of like all hell too.
Yeah, the hackable DNA and shit like that.
Just not that, dude. Like they're starting to like pop people off that like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get a DNA test and come to find out my third cousin, sixth removed, is a fucking serial killer now.
They've solved a couple of some cold case murders I saw.
Yeah.
But they're also really weird with what they'll release of that too. And but when you do get the tests, I don't think most people read the fucking chunk of paper that comes with it about what you're signing away.
Oh yeah, you're pretty much giving up all availability to your DNA testing.
Which is the most important thing you have is your DNA. That is completely yours.
Well, and they want everybody databased and stuff. That way it's easier to say this guy did this or this guy did this.
Or if shit hits the fan, who's going to be the one to survive?
Yeah.
You know, that's something I've always thought. Like they have strong DNA and bloodlines.
Well, look at everybody who's collecting it, right? Now, every 5 years, they change the number of crimes that you have to get a swab test for if you go to jail. And now we're at like DUIs. If you get a DUI, they're going to put your DNA in the database.
Depends on,
dude, if you get booked for anything, you're automatically fingerprinted.
Depends on the state, I think Colorado, you still have to commit a felony for...
Well, when I went and got my teaching job, like, they had to do an FBI federal background check.
Like, I know
you can't tell me they didn't keep that record.
Oh, they definitely did.
No, we're doing this DNA talking and all this interesting shit, but can we talk about this guy's bow tie for a second? I know no one can see it, but it's fucking fresh as shit. It's all shiny and gold.
It does have a sweet bow tie.
Right?
I wasn't going to say anything.
I've been admiring it myself.
I did.
Like, it takes a mighty man to tie a bow tie.
It's a clip-on.
It's a clip.
Shut your hole.
You're fucking selling them out. I see.
I couldn't see him doing a clip-on.
If it was, it would be the world's freshest fucking clip-on.
Dude,
Destin says, "Are you talking shit about Scientology? Tom Cruise is gonna have you assassinated."
Yep.
Tell Tom Cruise he can bring his 4'2" ass over to my house.
He hasn't had Leah Remini fucking assassinated yet. He has had her fucking fucked with. But.
You know, the only reason why I think his movies are like, because you look at it, he's been putting out the same refunded crap for fucking years now.
Oh yeah.
And I think the only reason why his movies sell is because they're okayed from the Church of Scientology. Like, you can't watch it if it's not okayed by the church.
Right.
So if you don't, Half Baked's not fucking okay, so those people have probably never seen Half Baked.
Yeah.
And if they have, they had to go and repent for their fucking.
Yeah.
For having watched
So
it.
my question is, how the fuck did John Travolta get the Fred Durst movie approved?
Is there a Fred Durst movie?
Fred Durst just did a movie. What was it called?
Fred Durst goes
Oh.
Scientology.
Fanatic or something
Yeah,
like that?
The Fanatic.
The Fanatic or something like
Who
that,
was it?
where
Yeah,
John
John
Travolta
Travolta.
plays.
It's like
Oh, what's up, John?
it's like the worst movie of the year.
Yeah, he plays a stalker that's obsessed with this guy, right?
Yeah.
And John Travolta said it was his favorite directing experience
With
or
Fred
work
Durst?
with Fred Durst that he's ever had. And we're talking like this guy's worked with Scorsese, and he says Fred Durst is his most favorite director he's
He
ever had.
probably meant it in the whole, he left me alone and let me do my thing. AKA, be in the RV with the masseuse for like 10 hours. They're banging on the door. They're like, John, we need you on set. And he's like, well, Fred said that I can get one more hand job. And then I can go out. And the masseuse just run around, help me.
What's up, Joe Coke? What's up, John?
The
Chuck,
only probably
ladies and
reason why
gentlemen,
he
John
told
breaks
he
bad
probably
news in the
told one
house.
more hand job
Oh,
because
nice.
his hands were blistered from doing it too much himself.
John breaks
Did you
bad
say
news,
John breaks
right?
bad news?
Yeah, he's in.
What's up, John?
Dude, I want to do what you do.
You want that?
You cannot do it with the fucking pizzazz
Oh, yeah, is that a challenge, Doug?
that John does.
All right, I mean, like, no disrespect to John. I mean, props to John, but don't fucking think I can't do a good job of going around and being an asshole, breaking bad news. I can do the, what is it, dirty work, right, with Norm Macdonald?
You can do the dirty work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're,
and Artie Lang.
Dude, long as your theme song is Dirty Deeds. But
Dirt cheap.
Eric Thompson says Fred Durst is now a Scientologist. Check out Limp Zenu. Kevin McKee says he directs like Keep Rollin'. I think John Travolta has been like kind of in some shit with the Scientology aspect, if I'm not mistaken.
he's like, I don't know, he's said some things in public that he probably shouldn't have,
Yeah.
from what I've read about it.
Yeah.
But, you know, like that whole, when Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes split up, like, there was
She said some shit. Yeah.
and, like, they're completely blacklisted. You know, the chick from Kings of Queens, like, they have fucking ridiculed her.
Leah
like,
Remini. Yeah.
yeah, they, like, destroyed most of her shit. Like, she's having such a hard time getting jobs and stuff.
But she knew that when she left.
Well,
That's-
all of them know that. Like, there's a story I watched where this guy, like, they were part of Scientology. Their kid was on that fucking cruise line that they have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they got out. They wouldn't let them talk to their daughter. Wouldn't let them when they decided that they were going to leave the church. So they pretty much held captive their fucking children from talking to them.
Oh, shit, did we somehow get back into talking about religion?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, here's the deal. This guy knows a lot about what he's talking about. I'm just sitting here with my thumb up my ass. Like, yeah, religion stuff.
Well, we got back on it because John Travolta's a fucking
Yeah.
douche.
Okay, he's right. It's a lot about the Mormon religion.
I didn't know Nancy Cartwright was a Scientologist.
Yeah.
That weirds me out.
So,
Well, dude,
looking through this
The
list.
thing that cracks me up is all these people are part of this, right? All these rich people are part of it. And L. Ron Hubbard has been quoted for
Dougie
saying, if you
Fresh.
ever want to be rich, start a religion.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And all
Is
of it.
that what we're not doing, right? Dude,
Yeah,
Let's
dude, we're
start a
fucking.
religion.
Dude, we
You don't
can
have
start
to pay
the alcohol,
taxes,
do strizzle
man.
shit. You know, like you drink on Fridays, you drink on Sundays.
And
the
so with-
Church of AIDS.
With Scientology as well, you're not supposed to have interaction with family that aren't on board with it.
Yeah.
So, like, looking at this, like, Peaches Geldof, Bob Geldof's daughter, they had a falling out over it.
Yeah.
Jenna Elfman and the rest of the Elfman family, Danny Elfman's kept away from
Yeah.
it. And he won't say anything publicly about it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Oingo Boingo definitely had songs about religious control and shit like
Well,
that.
that was the big thing about a lot of his shit that he wrote.
Jason Lee,
Yeah.
Juliette
I
Lewis.
don't know if Jason Lee's still in it.
Some of those people like really, make me sad because like I'm a huge fan of them, And I'm like, dude, like, you believed that a bunch of aliens were thrown in a volcano and a bunch of crazy shit.
I think so one of the things like
Beggar winner, really?
we were just talking about
That's
is
crazy.
the exclusivity of it. Like, people want to feel exclusive and a part of something. And when
Yeah.
you're in a Hollywood elite, to have a next level of elitism is really fucking tempting. And so I think that's why a lot of these people have gotten onto board with the Scientology.
Well, not Kabbalism and stuff like
yeah,
that.
exactly. Nobody's talking about that shit, but
Oh,
look at it.
oh, dude! But the thing is if you actually read about it, all it is a super rich form of Judaism.
Mm-hmm.
You can only drink water from this places. You can only consume stuff from this place and stuff. And I swear to God, that's probably the only reason why fucking Madonna looks the way she does.
Where does Epstein's jet fit into this hierarchy?
So he fits in a different religious realm, like what are they called?
The space vampires?
No, there was a documentary
Space
just put
vampires.
out about him
That'd be an awesome name for a
on
punk
Family?
band.
The Family,
Yeah, I saw that. I haven't watched it yet.
which is technically non-denominational, but it's evangelical.
Van Morrison.
Van Morrison, J.D. Salinger,
Ricky
though,
Martin.
like Catcher in the Rye, Ricky Martin, Charles Manson
What?
Chaka Khan.
became a Scientologist.
He's dead now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that guy's.
Brad Pitt,
Brad Pitt, Jerry Seinfeld.
Jada
Pinkett
Pinkett, and Will
Will
Smith.
Smith.
I mean, we all
Patrick
kind of knew
Swayze.
that.
Swayze, I didn't know
Also
Patrick
dead.
Swayze. That's kind of sad.
Right?
So,
Forrest Whitaker.
You know, I guess.
Sorry, we're looking at a list of famous Scientologists. A lot of authors. A lot of fucking authors in here. Neil Gaiman, former Scientologist.
Leif Garrett.
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, just Tom Cruise's ex.
Christopher Reed.
Yeah, Christopher.
I didn't
Reeve.
even know Scientology was around back then.
I
Well, it was
think
created in like
Scientology
the
formed
40s
in
or
the
the 50s. It's been
50s,
around. Yeah.
I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Well, so he got in a bunch of
53.
he got in a bunch of shit.
1953.
He got in a bunch of shit because this guy,
Eugenics and Dianetics.
Dianetics and Genetics,
Mm-hmm.
he legitimately was quoted saying, "If you want to get rich, start a religion." And
Mhm.
so he started a religion. They caught him funneling money. They took their tax exempt away, and so that's the reason when they got that sea voyage thing.
Right.
And so the shit that goes on in that sea voyage thing is still a mystery to this day. I've heard fucking nothing but horror stories about it.
I mean, L. Ron Hubbard was fucking dishonorably discharged from the Navy
Yeah.
for his weird shit.
Well, and there's tons of people through the course of time too, like from in the 50s and 60s, that try to come out and say that they were molested by him or.
Isaac Hayes.
There's-
That's obvious. We
Yeah.
knew about
Well,
that.
that's what pissed why he quit South
Yeah.
Park, because South Park made
Did
that
the
episode.
Scientology episode.
Dougie Fresh, dude, did you just go by Dougie Fresh?
Yep, Dougie Fresh is a Scientologist.
What?
Yeah, I said that earlier. I saw him on the list.
Yeah, but it's not the whole Get Fresh crew.
No,
just
no.
Dougie Fresh.
Just like it's-
Sonny Bono, that was actually a big reason why him and Cher split up, was because of that. Beck, obviously, he's a multi-generation Scientologist.
That'd be crazy.
Wait, who's his
Michael
mom?
Pena?
I can't think of who his mom is, but she's a really well.
You
We
said it
were
was
just talking
midwife.
about she's a well-respected midwife in the
Yeah.
church. So the Masterson
Does she-
family,
Does she have a last name?
It's Hanson.
Hanson, something Hanson.
Yeah, Hanson.
Beck's last name is Hanson?
Yeah, Beck Hanson.
Interesting.
Yeah, I gotta break the seal. I'll be right back.
Wayne from Flaming Lips actually wrote a song about that.
Yeah.
About his Scientology and trying to convert him while they were on tour together.
Oh, dude.
I don't know. It's an interesting religion. Maybe
Well,
we should.
I think what's so interesting about it is how secret it is. I think that's the only reason why people are so inquisitive on it. Like, you can go, like, the Mormons come by your house all the time. You can walk into a Mormon church at any point in time and sit down for a sermon, right?
Scientology.
You can't do that. You
No.
have to go through a whole series of fucking tests before you're even allowed to.
And you have to be recommended.
Yeah, and you
Or
have
referred.
you have to go through this whole schooling. And each one of these like books and packages you can't resell, and it's fucking like can run up to thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah.
And you have to complete each stage and each deal, and
You,
it's
you
fucking-
have to have money
yeah.
to fucking be a Scientologist.
Yeah, but
That's
it-
why we don't know any.
Yeah.
ourselves, you know. I've met one that I've had serious talks with in my life, and he was definitely a very well respected and higher up individual. I won't name names. So
Well, it's probably one of those things. It's real 1% oriented. You don't see them going into fucking middle suburbia and trying to recruit.
no, they
families.
did for a little bit. They for a while they were actually pamphleting and stuff like that, and I'd say that was probably the 70s.
Yeah,
They were
60s,
doing that
70s.
at schools, at colleges and shit.
I
and
feel like Scientology is
But the
very
thing is
clear.
it was always elite. They never they always went for elite status people.
yes,
People that were
fraternal
educated and
and
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Scientology is very clear about you need to have a certain net worth.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not, and they don't, it's like they don't look for lottery winners. They don't look for people that just got money. They look for people that have
Sustainable.
right,
money.
yeah.
Yeah. That's the.
I don't
Oh, no.
disagree with that whatsoever.
No.
But, I mean, if you look at even the Scientological church in Denver,
Yeah.
that fucking building is insane, and it's a historic landmark. And
Well, look at the Masons.
yeah,
They're in every city.
Yeah.
I don't care how big your city is.
no, they're everywhere.
Yeah,
well, that- but
and
that
they've
was
been
the-
there since the dawn of America.
100%.
Yeah, well, that's a fraternal order that started back
why
way.
is that any different?
Well, because the Masons, my dad's a Freemason.
Uh-huh.
Like, I can go in there, you can go in there and become a Freemason.
You
It's-
usually
it's-
helps
it's-
with referral.
Yeah, but it's a whole ceremony and
What's
thing.
up,
They
Wes?
don't. They're not keeping people out. They just don't advertise. They're not out there trying to recruit. They're not advertising it.
They don't need to.
Yeah, but a lot of the stuff they do is all historical. They do on plays that have been passed down for thousands of years.
Yeah.
I had,
Oh,
a
yeah.
I had a roommate in college
just gonna hold
who
that
one.
needed corneal transplants, $30,000 a
Thanks.
piece.
Mm-hmm. And they paid for it.
And he got a letter out of nowhere from the Knights Templar that his great-great-great-great-grandfather was a Knights Templar, and they paid for everything.
But so even you bring up the Freemasons, and there's a lot of shit about them being fucked up and everything, but there's also a lot of shit about them doing a lot of good.
Yeah,
Sure.
You know, like the Freemasons were a big start of the orphanages
Yeah.
in the United States and protecting our orphans and
Well, they did a lot for the community and stuff like that, and they still do a lot
They
for
still
the
do.
community. The thing is that gets me about them, and most people don't realize, is they want no credit. They don't.
No.
They don't want recognition for it.
Mm.
Right. That's
You
not
know.
weird.
Why is a good deed without
So that's
without
the-
appreciation?
here's their
thing?
thought on it
It's
is
a
they don't.
different type of secretive. It's
I-
not transparent.
Well, it's not. They're not secretive, and they're transparent. All right, like you can.
You're
go
just
and
not
fi-
asking the right questions.
All, but the thing is like, a good deed shouldn't need a praise for it.
Correct.
That's
Right.
their thing is
And-
that it's selfish to get the praise
Yeah.
for
So
the
a
deed.
lot of the stuff they do is under the table, behind the door. You
No,
get a little
no, I
get a
would
little
disagree.
note or get something, and you go
I
on.
would say everything they do is just a little bit under. And I'm not saying it's sneaky.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is it's not transparent. Has anybody heard? Have the Freemasons ever put money into a political election?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it?
They do it through the Elks Lodge shit
Yeah.
a lot of times.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dude, the ones you got to be scared about, dude, is like, look at the like Skull and Bones. Those societies.
They're bastard sects of
yeah,
it.
yeah, those are the ones that are creating the problems and stuff like
Attempting
that.
to influence and.
Well, and they've shown all the major presidents that have been part of the Skull and Bones have had some type of huge financial scandal associated with them.
Mm-hmm.
George Bush put us in war for fucking ever, just for his companies to make money off of it.
We got some comments going on. Fred Durst did the movie for the Nookie so John Travolta could take his cookie.
That rhymes.
Isaac Hayes was molested by L. Ron Hubbard. Eric
Oh,
says.
Maybe.
oh,
I don't know.
Joe Koch says this just in: Chester Cheeto Scientologist, as well as Tony the Tiger and Kool-Aid Man.
Not Tony the Tiger, dude. No.
Joe says I'm a level 3 Grand Poobah in an Elks Lodge. We know things that will shatter your fragile eggshell minds. So the thing is
Are
when
you gonna share? Don't
when
tell
we
us
say
if you're not gonna.
Freemasons, it's a very it's
Yes.
a very loose all-encompassing term.
Oh,
There's different
that's one
like
out.
side
Yeah.
sects of
Yeah,
that
I-
shit that have
Oh,
gone
dude,
on.
You got,
and-
well, there's all kinds of anything. You got the Moose Lodges,
The
Eagles
Elks Lodge,
the
and-
Elk Lodges, and stuff. But you also have other things and stuff too, like the rich people have them and stuff like
Mm.
that. You know, we talked about the Skull and Bones. They got that
Bohemian Grove
the
shit.
Bohemian Grove and stuff. You know, so there's all kinds of those things. You look at fraternities just themselves, like
100%.
you have to be in that college. You have to be selected to go through a series of shit to get in there. You know, but all those people make these lifelong connections, and
Mhm.
that's what really makes the big difference in things.
I pissed a guy off last month. We were driving through Idaho, coming back from Oregon, and I have an Illuminati hat. You know, it's got the compass and the all-seeing eye.
Yeah.
And I had this guy who had been riddled with fucking bullets. I mean, he was covered in bullet scars. Come up and get real weird with me that I was wearing the hat and wasn't a member. And like was talking about crossing the burning sands and shit like that. And he actually gave me his info and said, if you're here and you want to learn, come talk with
Was
me.
that cultural appropriation?
What do you mean?
I mean,
Oh, me wearing the hat and him
Yeah.
trying to, yeah.
yeah. And he called you out.
I think it is with the Freemasons, you don't wear the mark unless you're part of it, you know, and it gets, oftentimes the Masonic groups get put in with the Illuminati and shit like that. And I think there's a
Well-
lot of them who don't like that factor.
Well, anything that has a secretiveness, there's some type of spectacleness of like, or skepticalness of something going on.
yeah.
You know, but you got to look at like over time, like which ones have had like major influences and stuff. You know.
In good ways.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
like that Bohemian Groves, like that's a beautiful one to talk about. You can't tell me that you have all these world leaders, CEOs of these big countries, or these big corporations, you know, all these major players in an area, and they're not talking shop.
Right.
You can't say that. Because you
No.
look at what happened, like with after the presidents have left there and the decisions they've made. You look at businesses and decisions that they made and mergers and all kinds of stuff. You can't tell me that something's not going on there.
Oh, no, you can't.
You don't
Like,
think I couldn't?
Yeah, I think you could.
And I think that
It's
that
like,
becomes
'cause I
a
will.
different tier of that.
Yeah.
In its own ways, you know. A lot of the early Mason stuff was to take care of people's families,
Yeah.
and like there's a group of the Masons called the Knights of Pythagorean,
Yeah.
and they were a big push in taking care of orphans and giving a spot that wasn't gonna be evil when there were giant people
Yeah.
making these orphanages and selling kids for sex and
Yeah.
shit like that. So I don't know.
They just took the right angle at the right time.
Yeah.
The right angle. I like what you did there. I used to live in a town in Texas where the Knights of Pythagorean were foundations in it, and when the Baptists came in, they collide. A lot
Yeah.
of that collides because it's a lot of science and math base.
Well, yeah.
And
it's all-
Baptists don't like that
No.
because they don't understand it. But they were just kind of allowed to be, but they couldn't have influence anymore. And it's real weird in that area of Texas that the collision of those cultures.
Well, the main reason why they were so secretive and with all their stuff is because when they first started, it was Christianity was running rampant over them, and these were people that are like, no, there's science and
Mhm.
education to like building and doing this stuff.
And
you know.
the Knights Templar is a different thing. The Knights Templar is definitely a more Catholic side of things, whereas a lot of Masons aren't really religious people. They're people who believe in the
Right.
fundamentals of science,
Yeah.
and that's why they have these groups like the Knights of Pythagorean that are based off of, you know, real scientific and math minds. My brain's not
Because
working.
every old white man should have some place to drink coffee, no matter what he does.
I've known Black Masons.
Yeah, I thought that was just Star
They
Wars.
are not exclusive or excluding in that they don't.
I'm not saying that we're not. I'm not
fact-
saying they're not letting us in. That's not what I'm saying.
In fact, when
That's what I'm saying.
slavery stopped, a lot of the way that the slaves were able to get their feet back on the ground were through the Masons.
Yeah.
And
Yes, they help people all throughout the centuries, and that is what is a little bit scary.
He's like, here we got a bunch of motherfuckers just stomping on bitches, and these motherfuckers are handing them up. Like, quit picking them up, I'm sure stop on them.
I mean, it gets so. If we're gonna talk conspiracy shit and Masonic level, the Masons also believe in a harmony of man, and that overpopulation and shit like that is dangerous at times.
Yeah.
And the Georgia Guidestones.
Dude, and
are an interesting piece
You really
of that.
look at like what that says and on that and stuff.
Very good rules.
They're amazing to think about. Like, one, we're having hunger problems and stuff like that, yet we're still throwing away almost 75% of food that we create.
Mm-hmm.
So that shows that we have the food to produce to give to all these people if people could just either eat what they get or not be so many. But how do you tell people not to breed? Like, that's the biggest question. And like, we saw what happened with Mao in China with the one-child policy, you know, like, how do you tell people not to breed?
Right.
You know?
Because if you want to build a ship, you don't tell people how to build a ship. You give them the love of the ocean, and then you let them build the ship. So we have to show people what the world could be like. And we have to be able to make the personal decision that that's the way we want the world to be.
But that's one mind, one united, and that's a different concept that you're talking about right there. Like, that's the universal thing that we should be focusing going towards is what's the best for the fellow person next to me and me. All right, and that's a hard concept when we have people that are still greedy and self-consumed.
So, for those of you who don't know what the Georgia Guidestones are, they are a set of granite slabs that went up on private property in Georgia.
Yeah, by the
And-
Rosen Christians.
Yeah, and it's a real secretive thing. They're astronomically aligned. They're in different different languages.
Yeah, the seven
inscripted,
main known
including
religions.
dead religions.
Yeah.
And the guidance on them is, one, maintain humanity under 500 million people in perpetual balance with nature. Number 2, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. 3, unite humanity with a living new language. Because languages cause barriers.
Yep.
Number 4, rule passion, faith, and tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Number 5, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Number 6, let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Number 7, avoid petty laws and useless officials. Number 8, balance personal rights with social duties. Number 9, prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. And number 10, be not a cancer on the earth, leave room for nature, leave room for nature. And a lot of people have taken it really weird with this. They put a lot of correlations to it, but it's based off of Thomas Paine's Common Sense, which he wrote at the beginning of the foundation of America. Common Sense was a part of our Declaration of Independence. And the rules make sense. They do.
You look at, they talk about like global warming and all these arguments and stuff about all that, but you look, like, they're chopping down the rainforest faster and faster for beef production and farm production and stuff like that. We're losing resources that way too. You know, like, what plants we lose and stuff like that can be cures and stuff like that. People forget penicillin, which was one of the greatest things for society,
came from moldy bread.
Which is technically growing something.
That's one of the quotes I live by is, why make a stink from moldy bread when you can make medicine with it?
So, like, what are we losing when we're taking away from Mother Nature on the same aspect?
And that's why these rules are put there, and that constant push on leave room for nature. You know, we devour nature, and it ends up fucking places up. Like you look at Indonesia and places like that they're just, it's fucked, you know, and they're so overpopulated.
Amazon rainforests are still on fire.
Yeah. Which is a lot of medicine.
That's all I'm saying.
Since we're talking about, this thing.
What?
Huh?
What?
Just since it happens to be what we're talking about, he mentioned.
Just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Amazon fire.
Which could be a lot of our medicine.
I haven't seen it on Facebook
Also,
in the last couple days, so, you know.
The biggest
Yeah, that's
supplier
old
of
news, man.
hallucinogenic medicines as well, like ayahuasca and DMT, the key openers, you know.
Sons of bitches.
So, what's up, Jesse? What is that?
That's my phone.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry about that.
interesting. Feed him dirt, said the Mason, Joe Cook says, in 666. I think you're mixing shit up, man.
Oh, hey, thanks, brother.
We do fuck a lot of stuff up by the miscorrelation of like the Masons, and I've got Masons in my family as well, and I don't know. There's bad in every group,
Well,
and
anything done with desire to conquer something is actually, you really look at the basis of most religion. It wasn't to do anything but calm people and help rule.
right, And
that's the
political,
reason why.
a lot.
But you look at like basis of all early religions, it's night versus day.
yeah,
The evil comes out at night. The
Mhm.
light is good. And what they were scared is what was happening when the sun went away.
Mhm.
It wasn't going to come back and stuff. So that's they got the sun gods and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Based early religions.
and like the religions themselves, not spiritual guidance realms, but the religions themselves, all were developed within a certain timeline of each other.
Yeah.
And if you follow the plight of man, let's say, because I'm a firm believer in evolution, if we're on that land race from Africa up into that realm where it's the cradle of a lot of religion, people are having trouble, which way do we go from here? Do we go left? Do we go straight? Do we go right? And chaos ensued. And religion was a way to control chaos.
Yeah.
And then to also make fun of the dumb.
Well, that's the big fun.
Stop.
Huh?
Stop.
No. I said it's time. I said it's 7:10.
Oh, it's 7:10?
Just wanted to throw the time out there.
Nice. Rawhead Rex. But, I mean, all religions, they just have different deliveries of the same moral rules. They,
Yeah, well, they're all based off of something from each other in some
Mhm.
form or fashion.
Oh, yeah. Just different deliveries of it. Anyways, that was a lot of talk on religion. What should we do next? Should we go into some topics, or?
Well, I was hoping we could
Could what?
talk about Wyoming.
What do you want to know, man?
yeah.
Like,
Jesus,
well,
man.
I hope you enjoy disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair amount.
Do you guys want to talk about the Redwood incident?
The Redwood incident,
Oh
Yes.
no, I do not
where I
want to
got
talk about it.
touched.
Okay. No?
No.
Well, what do you want to know? He might not want to talk about it, but I might try to not shell it up.
Like I'm on the
Nutshell.
opposite side of the spectrum on there. There was some mishandling of how that shit went down. Like
Okay.
the way our family deals with shit, like that was unacceptable.
Well, this might be time we could set this matter straight. Nobody
Oh,
wants.
we've talked about it
Oh, yeah,
amongst
yeah,
ourselves
yeah,
a
yeah.
bunch,
Yeah.
dude. We're
Yeah.
clear on where each other stands.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
We still got love for each other,
yeah.
yeah.
It-
That's the thing. Is like the thing is we're family.
mm,
Brothers fight, man. Brothers fight. We all argue and stuff.
Yeah.
All right. We argue. We do some asshole things to each other. We play a little too hard sometimes. We apologize and we fucking move on. And we work it out.
mm.
Dog, I feel like I want to punch you in the face for what you did. All right, you get one. Like I stepped over the line.
Okay.
But
I can respect that.
it was just the way it was handled. I don't know.
Okay.
But
Maybe not talk about it? Yeah.
But-
Anyways, did you win?
no.
No.
Did I win? Well, here's the thing. They fucking the DA called. I'll just do this real quick. The DA calls me up. They're like, "Hey, he pled not guilty. Whatever you want to happen to him, you just say it. You know, we can give him up to X amount of time." They said. And I'm like, I don't believe in the fucking system. Jail doesn't do anything for anybody. You know. And then I'm also thinking to myself, I got kids. He's got kids. So fucking, I'm like, dude, just. Maybe send him to, give him a little bit of probation or something. I don't know, but don't send him to jail. That's not fucking good for anybody. I don't feel good about it. No one feels good about it. So they were like, all right then. And so, you know, they did what they did. I haven't talked to the guy since, but there is a small possibility that we'll be getting drunk and trying to go trick or treat together. And I might just take my upcomings for, you know, what I did.
Are you gonna wear the sperm suit?
I threw that away, dude. It's covered in so much
You
human
cocksucking
fucking
son of
film.
a bitch! I hit that for so many years.
Dude, no,
This
after
motherfucker!
after
Dude,
I
this
threw waffle
motherfucker!
on it and had hot sauce all over it and fucking
Oh yeah, you
worm
threw.
juice.
Yeah.
Dude,
Just
like,
left it in the
it
trunk.
was fucked. After that night, it was just fucking...
The story on that
Oh, yeah.
sperm
Oh,
suit,
man.
dude, it was
But it
supposed to be a
goes
one
back.
night fucking thing.
Mm.
And we just made this recurring fucking character in our shit when we were doing Mr. Fister and the Cooter Punchers, and it fucking. Like, it was
Sold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it was sold.
Our guy, Mighty Mike, he was like, dude, we'll give you a show as long as you wear the costume, the sperm suit. I'm like, if that's what it takes.
Well, so I was contacted by Cheyenne
Yeah.
Police Department because of the footage.
Yeah.
Right.
We were live streaming the
Yeah.
incident. Well, the whole thing we were live streaming.
Yeah.
And they asked me to remove it from Facebook, and I refused. And I think it probably pissed them off.
Oh, dude,
It
dude,
might've.
dude, you could have said, yeah, I'd do it, and it still pissed them off.
Yeah.
We're talking to Cheyenne Police Department, man.
I actually found our filmed footage of it the other day. Like, not just the live stream shit, but the actual, what we filmed that night.
Hey, you got us playing our set, though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, dude, we
need
gotta get that. man.
I will work
Yeah.
on getting that to you guys. I thought I'd lost it, and I ended up finding all of it
Nice.
about a month ago.
That was a
That's
good,
good news
set,
because
man.
that was like one of our better sets,
Mhm.
and we're really looking at trying to get other gigs. So if I have that footage, I can strap it onto a press
Strap it
pack.
on.
Yeah, right. Like a 6-inch.
With a rubber
Probably,
fist.
Some low
probably some
standards.
editing will need to be done.
Not of their
Oh, not
set.
really,
No,
just
they did
cut
great
this-
with their
yeah.
set. Yeah, we just won't put the other footage in there.
Yeah, no, that's
That was not
Yeah.
good for a press pack.
well,
Probably
you
not.
know, if
Right,
you
yeah.
you need a how-to on how to get raped while getting thrown up, I guess.
yeah. I mean, I had to throat check a guy.
So
that
you want to
night,
hear
so-
a funny story about rape? And the only reason why I want to say this, okay?
A funny
A
story.
funny
about
story
rape.
about funny story about rape. Okay?
Funny story.
Funny story about rape. So I had a friend of mine. He went to the federal pen. Okay, and when you get booked into the pen, they shave your head and they give you a comb. They do a bunch of weird shit. Well, one of the things they do is they make you watch a video on how to get raped. Yes, I'm not fucking shitting you. And so the video goes through about like
Did
Avoid-
you say how to get raped?
how to get raped.
Okay.
Okay.
Be a snitch.
Yeah, no, so no. It's not, yeah, you would think that. But the video goes through and it tells you, like, stay away from the places that you know the cameras don't see or the guards can't be. And if you find yourself in a situation where you're going to get raped, to relax, ask him to spit on it. I'm like, seriously?
How to make it less dangerous.
Yeah, how to, like, so, like, just, they're telling you to lay down and play dead like it's a bear.
Yeah.
It could be.
How to make
Well,
this rape
I'm a
less
small
rape.
man. You're very right in that. But
Right. Well, after it happens, that's basically they're thinking you're consenting to it, so you can't do anything about it. They'll be like, "But you laid there and you took it."
Well, the
Yeah.
thing
You
is,
told us
well,
to.
you gotta think. Remember, most rape though it's about the
It's a
struggle.
power move.
It's a
It's-
power struggle thing. They want to fucking dominate you. If you just roll over like, hey, I want to do it this way.
Yeah. You'd be
Yeah.
like, "Can I be on top?"
Yeah.
And they'll be like, "No, I'm gonna leave."
Can we do reverse cowboy?
That's my fave.
Was this in Wyoming?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. No, yeah, I heard it happens down here too.
Oh, that they show you the video
Yeah,
here?
everywhere
believe
you
it.
go. they show
Especially
that
since
video.
in Colorado they don't pay to separate their sex offenders.
No.
We won't put them in
Well,
protective
and
custody.
they don't do that so much in Wyoming either.
No,
so-
Wyoming's
yeah.
another state they don't.
But what's funny is like sex offenders aren't allowed to have certain materials, right? So when this guy gets thrown in your fucking cell, right, and the CO takes your fucking mags that you just had, and you're like, well, you can't have these no more. You automatically know what this fucking dude's in there for.
Oh yeah.
He's in there for some type of sex crime. Now that guy has one of two choices: either come clean and just get the ass whooping that he's gonna fucking get, all right, or fucking fight the whole situation and get his ass whooped even more.
Yeah. I mean, it says a lot for when you're in a position of a bunch of people who have committed moral crimes,
Yeah.
you know, that
What-
you are the lowest on the moral fucking totem
Well,
pole.
the thing is like a wife
What's up, Zena?
a wife beater and is higher on the lines than a child molester,
Mhm.
right? And it's funny that they don't segregate those guys and they leave them in there. I think it's kind of just cause. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to do that.
You commit a crime,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, I'm also the believer if you're going to rape somebody of their innocence, somebody else should rape you of your innocence.
Oh, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
disagree with that. And I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot to be said about the fact that people who have committed murder and shit
Right.
like that think of you as the lowest of low.
Well,
And-
Dahmer was fucking killed in prison by a fucking...
By a broomstick.
by a lifer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he was disgusted with what he did to people.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
I have kids. So I think about that and fuck that shit.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you look at it's funny, like the people that they
Grab my pocket.
that they keep alive and stuff. Like Charles Manson, they have had segregated from the rest of the prison
Mhm.
population. Like he didn't get a lot of socialization with a lot of people and stuff for a long time.
Mhm.
A lot of the big guys. That's why Gacy.
Ted Bundy,
Well,
too.
yeah, Gacy and stuff like. Well, Bundy was on death row, so he
Yeah.
was segregated for that.
Yeah.
But Gacy, he kept him from regular pop for a long time because of how influential his crimes
Oh
were.
yeah.
You know.
Probably helped that he was a politician for a while. So
Yeah.
keep talking, y'all.
Oh gosh.
No, just give me a little bit more butt crack. That was awesome.
I know. if only you could zoom in.
Yeah, I know.
Really see it.
We have got to.
You gotta get still
Where's-
shots.
Where's the update where you get the smell with it?
No.
The smellophone.
Yeah.
Did,
that what- is that
did,
what that
Spo-
is?
did
Yeah, that's
SpongeBob
what
have some
that
smelly
smells.
fucking movie come out, shot shit at you at the movie theater?
I went. So SpongeBob in 4D, it was amazing.
So seriously, was it really good?
Seriously.
Like, I'm not a big SpongeBob fan, but I always thought that was a fucking cool idea. Like,
I've cooled on SpongeBob in the last couple of years. This was probably 6 years ago. Went in Chicago. It was like he opens the pickle jar and the room smells like pickles.
yeah.
They jump in the water and like they've got little tiny misters on the seats in front of you. There's rumblers underneath each seat.
See, and that's like New York is doing a lot of movies that way now. Like they're doing a lot of 4D movies, like big movies that are coming out. They're doing in these 4D kind of scenarios and shit. Like action movies, you get a puff of smoke and a chair rumbles and stuff like
we're
that.
so close to watching a holographic movie.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
big
watching
in the
holographic
movie.
Dio.
Where's
Dude,
where's 4D
hey man,
Holographic
I love some
GG.
BL.
Get the
I do
money
too,
shot.
but a holograph of him? Like,
Well,
Hold
come
on,
on,
hold on. You've never
Tupac
had
was
4D
already
porn?
there.
yeah. that's-
Wait, isn't there a thing about holographic GG Allen?
yeah, that was a joke. That was the
Of course
hard
it
times
was. Nobody
doing that.
would really
Uh,
do it.
Have you
But I
seen
mean-
VR porn?
They just did a tour, a huge tour with Roy Orbison and Buddy Holly
Yeah.
as holographs. And
People
Wow.
pay to see that?
I'd pay to see that.
I don't know how I feel about it.
You know,
I
I would
mean, like,
love
I'm not
to
a big
like
fan
love
of
to have
music,
seen those
but to
guys
see
because you know,
holograms.
especially like Buddy Holly dying so young as he was and stuff. You
Yeah.
know, like you know, but I got to see Stevie Wonder this year and
Nice.
like that like
Were you at
touched-
the Red Rock show?
Yeah, dude,
Fuck yeah.
that touched my heart a big part there because I've listened to that guy for so many years
Oh,
and was
yeah.
inspired by his music for so many years and stuff. To see some of these guys that were so influential and stuff, you know, My grandfather, my grandfather listened to a lot of old rock and roll, like Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, The Big Bopper, and stuff like that. So I grew up with that music and
Me
stuff.
too, yeah.
And so it's not like you get to see those guys play anymore because they're no longer around, you know.
All right, I gotta whiz again. I'll be back.
I think it's weird. Like Buddy Holly is in my. I'm related to Buddy Holly, and it just weirds me out because I know that the family isn't getting very much from that.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of fucked.
Well, that's a big fucking problem from a lot of old guys back then and stuff. The record companies saw opportunity and they put a foothold and they're collecting so much royalty. A lot of those guys, especially like black jazz artists and blues artists back in the day and stuff, a lot of those guys got a car. That was it, and you were on tour the rest of the time. Or they made enough money to pay for their heroin addiction and the hooker that they were fucking that night.
A great point, Leadbelly.
Yeah.
He sold off a lot. He thought he was getting something, sold off a lot of his rights, and then after he died, that label, Capitol, took his songs and gave them to future artists coming through, like Led Zeppelin and shit like that. Nirvana.
Yeah. Well, fucking that song, the Lion Sleeps Tonight. All right, that song, the people that wrote that song was a group of Africans from Africa. I can't remember their names, but they wrote that song. The couple guys on tour or vacation and stuff took that back to the United States. They made millions and millions on that.
Weren't they just a bunch of white college guys?
Yeah. They made millions and millions on that in the 50s and stuff, right? That song Disney fucking used in Lion King, right? Disney made a ton of money off the re-release of that. That family wasn't able to get any of the money from that until they tried to license that shit in Africa. And then they had a copyright fight, and Disney wrote off an undisclosed amount, and that family still hasn't seen any of that money.
Well, I mean, you look at songs like Black Betty. That was an old slave song about a woman who had syphilis and was insane and ended up having a child and it carrying on. And then it ended up getting turned into what we know as Black Betty now. Yeah. And that's fucked up, man.
Well, the Chain Gang, like working on the Chain Gang was about, slaves going out and working the streets and stuff. There was a lot of shit like that that was taken from, artists that didn't get much reparations for that.
No.
A bunch of Elvis did a bunch of covers and of jazz rock,
blues
and got that stuff for super cheap on the dollar,
Oh, fuck yeah. If not, like, extended royalties with it.
Well, what shit they had with the Cadillac Records, that's what they called it because everybody just got a Cadillac, man.
Huh?
Well, the term legacy was not something that they even thought of.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't...
Right.
They didn't think that their songs were going to live in perpetuity. I mean, can you imagine if you were...
Guy Buddy or something?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, like, that music's so beautiful and influential and amazingly done. And I think you're right, though. That music wouldn't be that music if it wasn't for what they were going through at that time period.
Yeah. So, tragedy makes great music.
But you think about it, man. You go from picking farm equipment and stuff like that to getting a Cadillac, driving around playing a guitar. That's big time, man.
Yeah, you got to stop doing that.
I think this is the longest we've gone into an episode without actually covering a topic.
What topic are we supposed to cover? We've covered tons, I thought.
Bro, you see this whole...
Oh, shit. Oh, I didn't know what that was supposed to be about.
That's us, homie.
Oh, so let's pick some of this shit up.
Yeah, pick one.
Like, I'm blinded by science because I love science.
We've got a little bit we can cover before we have to do a song or two from you guys, and Celebrity Deadpool.
Try to do a song. So, like, what? I'll pick one, you pick one. I pick Blinded by Science.
Blinded by Science. What we got?
So, a 315 billion ton iceberg breaks off of Antarctica.
Yeah.
That was on the 25th. That's fucking terrifying.
So a huge chunk, and a lot of people were instantly like, global warming,
Of course,
climate change. When in truth, this chunk has been being monitored since well before we
Well,
were
it's not
talking
like this
about
is the
that.
first time it's ever happened
No.
either.
Right?
No, but that is a
Well,
huge
wait,
fucking
wait,
chunk.
so-
Wait a
hold
second,
on.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like this happens. It's happened
Happens a lot.
currently. What do you think the Titanic hit?
Aliens,
Like that didn't
man.
just appear overnight, homie.
Right?
No, it
That
was cold
floated
that
up
night.
from somewhere.
They left the window open.
It was
Okay, wait a
cold.
second. Let me just, I just want to see, I mean, this is just, I want to see where everybody stands on this.
Okay.
We do agree, especially in the last 12 months, that there has been major calving in Antarctica due to the fact that warmer waters than have been in the last 800,000 years are flowing that way.
Well, no,
What-
I'm
from
not
what-
gonna argue
I'm
that.
on board with
Iceland,
that.
Iceland just
Yeah.
had a funeral for an iceberg that's been
Right?
sitting off their coast
Mhm.
for what 1,000 years or something. They say.
Yes, so we can all agree on that.
I don't think we're disagreeing on that. What I'm saying is this particular chunk is in a part of Antarctica that hasn't been considered affected by global warming.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
this chunk, D28, has been, they estimated that it was going to fucking break off 10 years ago.
Weren't there like
Or
active volcanoes beneath
I
it?
shouldn't say they estimated it was 10 years ago. They thought back in the 80s that it would have happened
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Right.
And so they're surprised that it was this chunk and not the big ass chunk next to it.
Yeah.
But you know, clickbait headlines, man. They don't want you to read the article. They want you to read the summary,
Yeah.
and come to your own conclusions that it's global warming
But
causing
it
it.
still happened. It
But-
added to the global warming issues that we've already seen. So now we're not just only dealing with the issues that we've created, but we also have to deal with the cycle that Mother Nature goes through.
But
Well,
so-
this is her attempt to try to cool this system down. That's why those
Oh,
glaciers
she's
break
gonna
out.
win.
Oh no, she's a bad bitch, and I ain't
Yeah.
playing no games with
But-
her. I've seen the day after tomorrow. Dog. I know what the fuck happens.
100%.
But so we are we've come to this conclusion. I'm not a climate change denier. Don't get this out of that. But what we've come to that conclusion from is what we have record of.
Yeah.
You know, in the past. But we've had all sorts of changes in weather and climate over our life, and not our lifetime, but the existence of man.
Right.
You know, we've gone through a couple fucking ice ages.
Yeah.
And
Well, this brings me to something I was talking to another guy about. Right. The world doesn't spin. It has this weird wobble to it.
yeah.
So you can't tell me over thousands of years that wobble isn't going to like eventually like change.
Right, and even earthquakes actually change if they're a high enough magnitude.
Yeah.
They will change the way we move on our axis.
Einstein says we're rolling on a bill of fabric, you know. So like,
Yeah.
there's has to be some like effect to that. Like we're not gonna roll traditionally like how everybody expects.
But I think that we put this fear aspect, and it might be real. You know, we might be enhancing and pushing the change a little bit further.
I
But it's
think
a
we like
change
put
that
scared
would
little
happen.
kids on TV and making them
Yeah.
fucking freak out.
It's real.
Oh no, I'm not saying it isn't. But the dinosaurs went through an ice age, so that
Yeah.
means they had to go through global warming
Nope.
at some point in time.
Hmm.
They even show that in like when they do core samples and stuff.
Science.
They went through an ice age in the right before the fucking plague hit.
Yeah.
They went
Science.
through 100+ year
Science.
ice age that ended up encouraging the plague to exist because it put a famine
You good,
into
man?
effect.
Yeah.
And
Your beer?
Yes. Agreed.
so I don't know,
No.
but we also yes,
Yeah,
we
good.
are a
Alright.
fucking poison. People are a poison.
That's all I wanted to
I
hear.
don't disagree with that. I think that we can do a lot to fucking change things, but the methods that we think we're doing to help are actually worse in so many ways.
It's
and-
not that okay. A lot of this technology that we're now getting, we've tried to come up with years and years ago, and we allowed assholes with big corporate fucking oil money to suppress this shit.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, you look at Tesla. Tesla was trying to come out with the electric car in the early 1900s.
Oh, yeah.
And every plant gets fucking burnt up. Yeah, you can't tell me that's not sabotage, okay? It's been years where you've shown Shell and Emron and all these companies have bought up patents for things to keep us from advancing on that type of ability.
To keep us away from sustainability, and more dependability.
Yeah.
Preach.
So
Tell 'em.
the
Tell
only
the
way,
people.
the thing is now we're fighting a 40-year backlog, at least, okay,
At
of
least.
where we should be technology-wise. We're still worrying about oil because people are so dependent on it when we could be going to renewable energy like that, you know. But now you got to think about, you got millions of people that you got to get out of a certain type of mentality.
Right.
And in countries like China has no emission laws.
Right.
And so to get those people to all change their cars and stuff like that, like, come the fuck on.
It's going to be hard.
Yeah.
But you also have like companies that are developing these windmills
Yeah.
that are pushed in the idea that it's more green and renewable, but it's toxic as fuck to make those things.
Oh, yeah.
And then when they break, you know what they do with them? They put them in the landfill because they can't fucking recycle them. So,
Well, a lot of them are getting stripped down. There's a company up in Wyoming that actually strips them down.
right.
So, but the problem is think about this, okay? This is where that technology becomes ignorant to me. On a breezy day, 10 to 20 miles an hour, those things are going. Those propellers at 30 miles an hour is moving 900 miles an hour, okay? In Wyoming, we have days that it's a sustainable 45, and you're
Easily.
getting gusts higher. We're not utilizing that energy, and that's the energy that we should be utilizing, because that's coming across. So we put these things at, like, things that catch energy at the top of, like, mountains. You can put a small box where the wind blows through it that's turning the turbine, that's giving us energy,
Right.
you know.
But it's in a coal state,
Yeah.
you know, so...
Well, that's the thing. Our state's suffering from that because we were so dependent on that type of energy. We're not able to tap that anymore. Coal's being fucking sanctioned left and right.
Yeah.
Was it? I want to say a few months ago they shut 2 coal mines down.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. It's an interesting concept. I do believe that, yes, our Earth is changing. It just, I get weary of what is considered renewable
Yeah.
and things like that.
Why are we able to harness the heat? Like, you look at, like, Nevada and stuff. You have all this heat beating down on the sun. We should be able to harness that. Most of our energy is created by steam turbines. Why can't we have some type of heat thing?
We don't
So
need it.
you
we
talk-
don't need it. All we need is the sun.
You talk about
That's it.
that. In Arizona,
Yeah.
there was a solar farm that they developed that used mirrors.
Yeah.
Right? The energy that those things put out was insane, but it also, they put it in a major migration zone for a specific type of bird.
Oh, yeah. it
And
killed a
as
whole
soon
bunch
as
of
the
them.
birds would go into it, they'd be pulverized.
Yeah.
And so they got shut down. EPA shut them down.
Jimmy Carter's hometown. 50% of all of the energy in Jimmy Carter's hometown is provided by solar.
Yeah.
And he made that happen. There's no reason why it's not 100%.
Well, there's countries that are, was it like 95 or 90% completely renewable energy?
Sweden.
Yeah.
And places.
So I
think
totally agree.
Greenland now.
We could be doing that. Well, like Tesla's had a couple things that if we went with like the ionic sphere fucking power system, we wouldn't have all this power problems we have and stuff because the way the power grid would work.
Right.
You know, we would be the fact that our house is in ground is grounding our house. Our house has power now.
And they didn't like that factor.
Well, you can't charge people that way. How am I gonna get my dollars from you? I want my dollars.
Joe Koch says, guess who invented the electric motor? Faraday.
Oh yeah, Michael Faraday.
Built wind
It's like my
turbines
favorite
for a year.
scientist.
They'll never get green use to make up for the waste, trust me. Dumpsters of resin and hardener from infusion and peel ply materials every day.
No.
Yeah, and I mean, wind turbines, especially when you're talking Vestas and stuff like that,
Well,
they use oil to keep it going. And
Well, like some of the shit that, like, I don't know. We have all these stuff that we can use, and it's always about what's cheaper, what's easier,
What's convenient.
what's convenient, cheaper and easier. I can't remember that guy. He came up with some material that you couldn't burn it, couldn't freeze it. It was like just this cool ass shit, right? And the government's like, well, we want to buy it. And he goes, well, what are you going to do with it? And they're like, well, we're going to do this. And he's like, no. And he took that shit to his fucking grave.
Oh, yeah.
Like, nobody knows how to make that shit because he's like, yeah, you fucking people are going to use it for bad.
But
we get better at whatever it is we put our resources into. If we put our resources into solar or wind, we could make them both ridiculously efficient.
But
Yeah.
you're missing so much stuff, though. We talk about solar and wind. We got hydroelectric, okay?
Yeah.
All right. But, like, I want to go back to the heat thing. Half of our planet is in, like, scorching heat most of the time. Why aren't we harnessing that heat?
I don't disagree with you there.
You know?
That energy in itself. I would also go.
Well, I'm not trying to be mean. Water boils at 100 degrees, like what, 200 degrees or something?
160.
Yeah, something like that, right? They show people baking cookies in their cars in Arizona because it's so fucking
And in
hot.
Texas and shit, yeah.
You can't tell me it's not getting hot enough to heat a plate, to boil some water, to turn a steam turbine, and make some fucking energy, dog.
Here's what I find interesting. If you go to Kickstarter and explore energy, there are so many Kickstarter programs that are designed for third world countries to be able to use their streams. There's a Mylar little thing that you stick in the river and it creates a turbine and you get energy off of it. All of these things that are being created for third world countries, we're going to need all of that shit.
Yeah.
Because at some point, all of this is going to be useless.
Oh, dude, there's a peak or collapse of anything.
And when it does, hopefully we'll still have. There was one the other day where you could burn like wood in it, or you could burn a fuel in it, and it creates power, and you could like plug your phone in and shit.
Dude, I got a flashlight that.
You shake?
Well, no, it's solar.
How do you shake it, Doug?
Yeah.
Like this.
It's solar, so you just leave it out in the sun, and that fucking thing will charge your phone.
Yeah.
Too.
It's a double-fisted.
You know, the big thing also is we want to focus on like renewability and shit. We need to worry about the shit we've already done. I mean, the oceans in themselves, the death in the oceans is one of the largest carbon emitters of anything. But we're now having to deal with the plastic and shit like that. Like,
so this is what I find so funny about this. Okay, and this is maybe I'm just a naive asshole. You can say whatever. We do deep sea fishing with nets and pull up thousands of pounds of fucking fish. You can't tell me you can't go out there with some fucking better nets and scoop up some fucking trash.
yeah. Well,
Like-
you do have that boat that's out there right now that's got a crazy system.
That guy, he came up with that and he got some patent and stuff, and that's a really cool system. I like what he's doing because it's supposed to get down all to the
microplastics.
the microplastics, and that's really fucking cool, you know. But like, I don't understand why, like, we have to wait till it becomes a giant fucking island.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Because there's no money in that. There's no money in cleaning up recycling.
No.
Well, you know,
No.
it's recycling. Why do it?
The only money you get is from the companies that are reusing that materials, and it's cutting their costs of having to develop new materials.
Well, you know, it's funny. We talk about we should recycle.
Well,
The
that
only
shit
thing
just
you
goes
get
in the
paid
trash.
for, well, the only thing you get paid for in recycling is your cans, right? The rest of that shit, the glass bottles and stuff, and the paper and the plastics, it's so asinine on how we have to have it segregated. You know, container 1 for container 2 type of plastic, container 3 for container 3 type of plastic. You can't put that all the same fucking shit. You can't have brown bottles with clear bottles. You can't have green bottles with brown
Right.
bottles.
But it all ends up on the same container ship on its way to China.
Yeah.
Well, and
True.
that's the thing. When that's the other thing. Why are we outsourcing our own recyclables? Fucking shit, man. Like, God, we're fucking asinine.
Yeah, well,
True.
now we got to figure something out because didn't they start sending that shit back about 2 months ago?
Well, because they
Well, it's 'cause-
increased the tariffs on it.
Yeah, the tariffs on it. Yeah.
It's actually the tariffs that are going on aren't just from China coming in; they're on shit going out, and it's actually going to hurt here in a little bit with the like metal and mineral companies that are used to shipping that shit over there, because they're shutting down, man. They're not able to afford to process that shit or get rid of it, you know.
Well, the other part of it is their economy's going up too. So you really look at like in the 50s and stuff, like our economy was so strong and stuff because we manufactured so much, and we didn't import as much as we exported. And so when you look at that, now we import more than we export. We have more problems with that. Well, China realized that. Had cheap labor. Well, now they have a middle class and all this other shit.
Right.
Their economy's growing. Well, as our economy grew, so did
theirs.
yeah.
What's the second story?
So the second story is about NASA's chief scientist, Jim Green. He says, when or if NASA finds life on Mars, the world may not be ready for the discovery. And so basically he's just getting ready for the Mars 2020 rover. He thinks that we're going to find aliens and Americans won't be able to handle it. But
Well,
I
like,
think
What's
it's going
his
to unite
argument,
us.
though?
Well, he just thinks it's too intense and it's going to just fucking destroy our minds. Because
Well,
we
like-
can't handle science.
I think it would break down a lot of religious beliefs,
Right?
for sure.
I think it'd bring people together finding out that there's aliens and shit out
Well,
there.
I definitely think
there'd be
Scientology.
like an initial kind of like, backlash or some kind of negative reaction from a handful of people at first.
Mhm.
Like,
But
what did they
ultimately,
do to
long
get
term,
rid
I
of their
think
life?
you're right. It would probably bring us together more than separate us.
Right.
What was that dude?
Well, what was that? Who was the president that said that the only time that the world will unite is when we face a fear greater than the world?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe
That's
none.
a
maybe
good
I think that was
bullshit.
Ronald
Good
Reagan.
shit.
But
That sounds like something Reagan would say.
Yeah.
I think people would question why life halted on that planet. And that
Well,
would
but
be-
you look at it like.
Wait, what?
So are we rolling forward or backwards on this fabric?
Right.
You
Right.
know.
Is
Are
that
we
what you
get-
mean?
Yes.
Because I had an idea or read a theory, and I had an idea about it. Like, how do we know we weren't relocated here due to our planet dying somewhere
Right.
else? You know, like there's a lot of theory on that, and so you really look at it like. How do you know, like, Mars wasn't our first planet and we fucked that shit up? They're like, we're going to take you selected few, throw you here, you're primitive again.
Then you have to assume that we didn't learn any lessons because we came to this planet.
Well, then
and
why do
fucked
you
this one up.
why do you think we got sent here with no fucking tools or technology? They're like, no. I saw what happens when you had a fucking cell phone, you dumbass. We're taking that shit the fuck up away from you. Go back to bounding shit with stones, asshole.
Right. Well, there's a theory called the zoo hypothesis that we're gonna overdevelop in technology that it'll destroy us. We came, we saw, we destroyed ourselves. You know, and that could be a part of it.
You know, it's not uncommon for what the fuck was that thing? That robot, that CGI or that AI robot. She would say weird shit about, like, we're gonna take over your planet. and
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Honda one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so like, you guys.
That's actually things like that have happened. Like Facebook was working on AI.
And they started to talk about overthrowing.
And then Facebook realized that the computer was talking to itself, and they didn't know what it was saying, and they were like,
It developed its own language.
yeah, they were like, okay, maybe we're done with this right now. maybe we're not ready for this, and maybe we're not.
Well, that's the thing with AI. You got something that anybody that thinks they're superior than somebody else is going to try to dominate them, and it's given. Like, you look over the history of time, like, I'm bigger, better than you, I'm going to dominate you.
Right.
I have a bigger army, I'm going to dominate you. You know, so, like, I don't think, like, you get a couple, like, I don't know, like, robots, I guess, fucking AI robots, like some Terminator shit. Like, yeah, dude, it would be easy. They can mass produce themselves faster than we could fucking assemble them.
I keep releasing my sea monkeys into the ocean to protect the treasure, but the land dweller nets keep getting better. Only thing to fear is fear itself, Frankie D. And I fully support my future AI overlords.
Nice.
Joe's getting in right now.
Like, where do you sign up to just be like
Right?
an AI slave?
Facebook.
What's it take to not die?
Tell me,
well,
you're not the guy in the Matrix that went, steak? Okay.
Right? Exactly.
I'm down. Hey, I'm getting...
What? You're getting what?
What? Is there stuff and things going on?
Yeah, there's some stuff in things.
What kind of stuff and things?
You hear children running around? Probably.
Real staticky.
Oh, that's my bag of chips. I'm sorry.
Oh, what did I tell you, man?
What do you mean staticky?
Static X.
So how fast do you think if the fucking, like, we created a couple AI things and they're able to fucking go rogue? Like, how fast do you really think the fall of society would be? Like, I would say within, like, a couple years.
5 years.
Easily, yeah.
In the last week, I've spent 37 hours programming bots.
Are they
Seriously?
sexy
Well,
bots?
my main thing is
Super
how ignorant we are as people.
Yeah.
All right, like most of us would be panicking in mass hysteria. Like that's just shooting fish in a barrel for them. I think.
I don't know. I think like it depends on how it's used. You know, we've talked about Jade Helm on here, and the AI SuperNet being used to be able to find people and track them down and control people.
We're halfway there.
But I don't know. Like,
But it's just funny because you look at all these AI things, like they haven't been functioning for a long period of time before they're like, we're gonna take you over.
yeah, these people are feeble and depend on us. And
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, 35% of the population willingly gives all of the information that they want and need, right? They check into places.
Yeah.
They...
Oh, yeah.
All of these, everything is stored.
Oh, easily, yeah.
And, like, part of my job is looking at what the bot's personality is
Hmm.
and trying to determine if it's correct for the customers. So, as I try to program personality, imagine what happens when all of these bots that people are creating ad hoc are able to find a way to meet each other.
Well, I mean, data's bigger than oil right now.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, data is bigger than oil. And I mean, you've got even companies like Walmart who have bought up these limestone mines in Missouri because they are controlled climates and protectable, where they are now holding these data servers. And
Yeah.
I mean, data's a huge thing, and of course,
Well, I do HVAC installation, and like some of the higher paying jobs are for fucking like Microsoft, and you run the AC units at their fucking
in their server
for their server rooms.
Hmm.
You know, and I'm like, they're paying these guys ridiculous money.
Smart robots. My Roomba has been bashing into the nightstand for 15 minutes now. I wish I had a robot to go walk over and shut the Roomba down. That's fucking funny.
It would be your sex bot.
I
And then
don't
when
know.
it come back and
So
triangle.
my whole question with the whole robot thing, right, and like AI, do you think they would be smart enough to be able to make themselves capable from an EMP blast? Because that's technically our whole big fucking superior thing.
Yeah, if we can't shut them
There's
down
no
with an
electromagnetic
EMP, what are we
pulse.
gonna do?
That's a good point.
we don't have a physical mechanism to create an EMP blast.
Yeah, we do.
Not without damage. It's not physical. It's still electronic. If it's
Yeah.
electronic, then they can have control over it.
Yeah, that's still okay, but you can still detonate that stuff.
But if they're
And there is ways to make small EMP pulses without having a nuclear
but if
fission
it's in a
reaction.
limestone mine, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, it's protected from that shit. That's why they put it in there.
You know what a
Like-
bunker buster is, homie?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely do. But you know what I'm saying
Yeah.
is that's the idea behind it is that it's protected in that.
I gotta pee again. Sorry.
Go pee, and
Yeah.
then we're gonna play some Celebrity Deadpool,
Sounds
and
good.
then you guys are gonna play some songs.
Okay.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
So what's like? I gotta ask. And the plot thickens. What's that one?
So that is follow-ups to stories we've covered
Okay.
already. So each one of those hashtags has 1 to 4 stories, if not 5, behind that theme.
Okay.
And so, and they're based on current events.
All right.
Because
But-
it was the easiest way for Josh to know how to work it.
Okay.
But the whole thing is, it's not governed by reason. You know, we don't necessarily need to talk about them. Sometimes it'll go on one realm and just fucking go off into the other. And I don't know. I've actually enjoyed tonight's episode and the way this has gone, rather than having to pick topics and shit like that. Some shows will go through 10. You know, some shows will go through 3.
I guess feel like shit.
What?
They're not watching.
Well, you know,
You know
there's.
what? That's true.
There's people who refuse to play celebrity fucking Deadpool.
That's true.
And-
And come on. Yeah.
I just don't see the point in that.
In Celebrity Deadpool?
No, in
Not-
refusing to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
You know
Like,
what you're getting
come on.
yourself into.
Yeah.
Gay Eye, the first queer robot, what does it say? Companions, TM, NGBR Corp, 2042.
We're gonna have our face mixed together on it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes
Oh,
sense.
that is the worst thing
So-
I've ever heard.
If you guys are watching out there, the few that are, Celebrity Deadpool, we play every show, and everybody gets to guess 2 celebrities that they think will die this year. And it's a points-based system, and it's 100 minus the age of the celebrity. So if the celebrity is 50, you get 50 points. If they're 99, you get 1 point. If they're 101, you lose points. So you get 2 celebrities you can pick. You can gamble and guess how they will die. If you guess and they die that way, you get extra points. If you guess and they don't die that way, you lose points. So you don't have to guess, but if you do, it's a gamble. You also get extra points if they die of a drug overdose, a suicide, or a homicide.
Did anybody get Jeffrey Epstein?
Yep. Oh, yeah, a couple people did. So this is the first year we're allowing multiple people to guess on things. It used to be one person could guess one celebrity. Now we're allowing up to 5 guesses on a celebrity to kind of.
We played this before. I guessed Macaulay Culkin.
Oh
and
yeah,
that was,
no.
I thought I was
At
close.
one point, we had our own celebrity death pool, and I ended up winning it with who died? The guy from Cuba, right?
Yeah.
Castro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's.
He got it because of Castro. I was close because I had one of the fucking
You had that
Corey
old
Haines
ass.
boys.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had the wrong Corey though.
Oh.
Yeah.
One of our dudes had Ron Jeremy, and Ron Jeremy ended up surviving a heart attack that year.
Sometimes you have to.
I think it might be
Oh.
that cable back there.
Oh, what?
The cable in the chair. I've got to rewire some shit. This is our trophy.
Yeah.
It will, of course, be a little bit nicer looking than this. This is just the mock-up. We'll actually have a nice sticker and the name on it for the
You
winner.
don't have to lie to kick it, homie. I'm cool with you.
Right?
you really?
Honestly, if there's a second prize trophy and that's it, and I happen to be second place, I'm good with that.
Dude, this thing's heavy. So
You could cap a motherfucker with it.
Take out an old lady,
Or a celebrity.
Tanya
Yeah,
Harding.
right?
Be
Yeah.
your own Tanya Harding.
DIY Tanya Harding.
I will have to go through and figure out who's in the lead. This year we'll probably have to go through and actually look at the celebrities that died.
So they
and
got
cross-reference
Takachi.
it.
How they got Takachi dying?
They didn't guess on it how he
Vague.
died.
Keeping it vague.
Keeping it vague.
Yeah.
Because that can be a downfall. You know, if you
I
guess
straight
and
see
then-
that guy getting capped, especially after that whole like I don't want protective witness, but yet you're going to squeal like a piggy.
Well, I mean, realistically, how the fuck are they going to put that guy in fucking witness protection? Look at him.
Dude,
Look
all right,
at
all right.
him.
This is what upset me. All right, I watched that whole Casey Anthony trial, hoping to know where she was getting relocated. That way, I could go and get my dream girl. And they fucking sent that bitch to fucking was it like Jamaica or Bahuba or the Bahamas or something
Mhm.
for like 6 months to a year.
And then she went back to Florida.
Well, they allowed her to go back to Florida
Mhm.
because everybody's kind of forgot about who she was because she wasn't in the deal now.
Right.
Because somebody did something worse.
Well, yeah. Well, there was a lot worse.
Look at that's our favorite sticker. That's from Doug Stanhope up there.
Dude, Doug
I'm with her
Stanhope's
sticker.
like my favorite
I'm with
dude.
her.
That was
Oh.
actually brought to us by a comic who had spent a week at the compound with him, and
Yeah.
that was gifted to us.
It's pretty
Kyle.
Coke?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one of those on my fridge at home, and every time my kid touches it, I have to take him away and put him in timeout. It's like, no.
Yeah, dude, I obsessed of that lady for a while. It's what you gotta think about it. Like, not even her kid's gonna become between our relationship.
That's true.
True. She's talking about having kids again.
Dude, I would fucking plant seeds in her left and
The
right.
sequel!
Left and right.
So yeah, get your celebrities
Left,
in.
right.
I got a
out
left and
there.
right nut.
If you're watching, get your celebrities in. You get 2 guesses. Let's start. Who wants to go first?
Can I?
Yes.
My first pick is John Madden.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. He's gonna die.
From tough acting to acting.
No, he's gonna wander into the street.
I got a funny
get hit by a
story
car.
about tough acting to acting.
And get hit by a car.
Yep.
What's that?
Dude, so my cousin was dating this chick once, right? And she was having some emotional state. And I feel for people that deal with suicide and stuff like that, okay? But instead of like huffing something that might kill her, she tried to huff a whole bunch of tough acting and acting. Like, I'm not joking. Like, seriously, try to huff a bunch of tough acting and acting. And the first time I saw her, my first question for her was like, "Does that cure foot and the mouth disease?" Like,
Is it curing your insides from funguses in general? That's fucking hilarious. Ew.
And then Nick Nolte is my second pick.
Nick Nolte. You want to gamble on?
No, I think he's just gonna die.
I think I know what my 2 are. Are you still thinking about yours?
I got one.
All right, I'll go real quick then.
What you got?
Kind of a wild card pick. I'm gonna pick Kurt Russell.
He's still alive? No, I'm just joking.
Right? Exactly. That's why I'm picking him. And then, sad fucking but true, like, this might really happen. I want to say Bill Murray.
Think he's living life on the edge?
I don't know, man. It's just, I don't want him to ever die ever, so that probably means he's
he lives,
right on
he
the
lives
edge
life
of
by
dying.
no rules, so.
That, too. He is kind of a crazy person
He's not a
himself.
Scientologist.
I just found out today that he was arrested for weed.
Oh,
So was Tim Allen. He was arrested for
arrested for
dealing.
coke.
No, he was arrested for dealing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Oh,
Bill
yeah.
Murray was just trying to sneak 20 pounds onto a plane.
Well, so was fucking. So did the Beatles half a dozen times.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with what's his name? He played in Smokey and the Bandit.
Burt Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds,
He's
yeah.
already
he's
dead.
dead, man, yeah.
When did Burt Reynolds die?
Last year?
Moment of
Yeah.
silence.
Last
Yeah,
year.
for real, you fucking opened a wound, bastard.
Good. I hope it's
Good?
deep and
Oh,
salty.
it is.
Sally
Son
Fields?
of a bitch.
No. I'm gonna give you my second one, and I'll think about my another one. But I think Ozzy.
Yep.
That's a good one.
I think he's flirting with fucking
Ozzy.
Temptation. Oh, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I'm gonna go with that one. That bitch is gonna croak.
Oh,
I think
she has-
cancer's gonna kill that fucking woman. And that's not that I got nothing against the woman or anything like that, but that lady has been
Anal
fighting
what?
left and right with that shit.
I don't know, man. She
Anal
remind-
what?
Anal devastation.
She reminds me of my my grandma. You know, just refuses. Like no matter what happens, just refuses.
Just
to die.
fucking yeah.
And if she gets above 100, you get negative points.
Oh,
So if she dies at 102, you get negative 2
oh
points.
damn it.
Yeah,
She's
you
what,
get-
like 98 or something, isn't she?
Ginsburg?
Yeah.
He's up there. Let's see.
Yeah, but she is a hell of a 90.
And Ozzy's gonna die of a heart attack. I know that.
I'm
That's
pretty
a good
sure
one.
he's just a fucking robot.
Yep.
He's like, well, no, we've come to the conclusion that Slash isn't real.
Yeah, he's AI.
Yeah, he's
That's why
AI.
he's doing songs with Post Malone and shit. She's 86.
86.
She looks fucking 95 though.
She does, but her body
But she's
is
fought.
a
What?
rockin'
She's
77.
fought what? One battle of cancer twice, and like
Yeah.
all kinds of other shit.
Dude, she still works out like twice a day, does yoga every morning.
Right, she might be indestructible, dude. You might have picked like the wrong person.
No, dude. What's that bitch? They called her the fucking. She was English. They called her the Iron something.
The Queen?
Margaret Thatcher?
Margaret Thatcher. Yeah, that bitch died.
Oh, yeah, she was in Doctor Who a little bit. That's the only way I know her.
You know from Doctor Who, but not the
Yeah.
fucking history books.
But not
God,
that
what
she
the hell
was
did
the
you
longest
do in
reigning
school?
Prime Minister of the UK.
Yeah, yeah. This guy knows.
What the
Sammy's
fuck
just
ever,
Mickey
Doctor
Rourke
Who?
twice.
That's amazing.
That's hilarious.
Mickey Rourke.
How is Mickey Rourke still alive?
Have you seen? I
Surgery?
sent him a picture earlier that his plastic surgery has been so bad that he now looks like he's wearing a mask of himself.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
Like a
fucking
cheap
creepy.
mask you get at Walmart.
yeah.
Not a good one.
Like the William
A
Shatner
plastic one
fucking
with
Halloween
the-
mask, you know?
Or like really one of those thin plastic ones with the elastic cord that
Yeah.
just wraps around.
Yep.
Sorry, gotta respond to that real quick. Yeah, let me find this picture. I'll show you.
Oh, I feel like this is going to be hideous.
Oh, here we go. This is a very recent picture
Of this Mickey
of
Rourke.
Mickey Rourke.
Dude, he's had so many good movies.
He doesn't look
No,
real.
that's the wax sculpture of Mickey Rourke. It escaped the museum. He's just sitting in
It's
the chair
running
there.
rogue now, huh?
Yeah.
Or what's that now? It's the living Night of the
Night of the
Museum.
Living wax sculpture.
Yeah.
Night of the Living Rourke.
Yeah.
All right. You want to go next, Marcus?
Keeping with my theming strategy, I'm going to go with Regis Philbin.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I feel like he's
think I
close
saw
to
that.
kicking a bucket.
Yeah, he's a high tense guy.
Yeah.
His heart
yeah.
can't take that.
No. And I think right now he might be getting bored because like
He doesn't
he
do
only does
anything.
like 2 things a year.
Yeah.
So I think he might die of not working. And my second one is going to be, did I say Prince Andrew? Oh no, he's 102. Never mind.
Yeah, don't go negative.
How is that guy still alive? Who's the woman from Star Trek? Uhura.
Oh, that's a good one. I can't
Michelle
remember her
Nichols?
name.
Michelle Nichols.
There it
Yes. Oh, there you go. Up on your. Did you have black porn when you were growing up? I thought
You know what? I don't want to talk about it, man. Brings up some
I so
rough
want to.
memories.
I so want to.
We'll talk about it later.
Black porn, I'm all about it.
No, the screen
King's
was just
still
dark.
alive?
Yeah, he is.
I'm gonna put that motherfucker on.
Who is?
Don King?
I thought he died.
How is that guy alive?
Mike Tyson.
The
kept him
amount of
alive.
cocaine that guy had to do during the 80s?
Dude, you know who else is still alive? Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Dude, you know,
That's true.
I think that guy is fucking a robot.
That's what I used to say about the guy from Naked Gun.
Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy. I was like, he hasn't aged in like 40 years.
That's how I
He
feel about.
finally
So
died.
you
Because
talking
you
about a
get
guy that
so old.
doesn't look like he aged.
Billy Idol?
No, the
Well,
the
Billy
lead,
Idol
the
looks
lead
like
guy,
he aged but didn't get older.
Yeah, the lead guy from Robin Hood Men in Tights, right?
Right. The guy from.
so you
yeah.
look at him when he did Men in Tights was in the 80s, right? And then you look at him when he did the Saw movies, right? And that's what 12 years later or something. Like
Yeah.
holy shit.
Yeah, he
Bones
looks rough.
My second one's Mel Gibson.
Like,
How do you think he's gonna die?
I don't have a guess on that. I just
Alcoholism.
Think
Just think
Yeah.
he's on the
I
ropes.
think
huh?
he's gonna be our next.
I
one.
like how he Mel Gibson in the 80s and the 90s was this like wholesome guy. And now he's old, he's just a dick.
Yeah. True.
Like this only is good through the rest of December, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
So you
you
only
think
got a
Bill
couple months.
Gibson's gonna die in the next couple of months?
Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
Well, I put fucking Kurt Russell in there, so sure.
Well, I got Ozzy, and that guy has to be running on pure methane.
I think Nikki Rax has Betty White on there.
Yeah.
at some
Dude, you
point
know
this
that's losing national treasure though when she dies.
year. Yeah, definitely. The last of the Golden Girls.
Yeah. Well, then just not that. You think about like the time period she put into like movies and TV and stuff. She dates back to the 50s on doing
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
They
you
all
know.
did, didn't they?
She's
know.
older than sliced bread. Literally.
She knew when dirt was created.
It's true. Well, shit. Last call for all you fuckers. Until then, let's get a couple songs in before we have to shut this bitch down.
Right, yeah, I know you guys are going late already, so.
We have a couple we could do. If you want to check out AIDS, you can check them out in Freddie Mercury's grave.
Right, yeah. if you want to see AIDS live, book us.
Don't
Yeah.
ask
Because-
Michael
I
or
do
Magic
want to.
Johnson.
I do want to point out AIDS is an acronym.
Yes, we are AIDS, the alcohol-induced drizzle shits.
Oh, nice. I like it. But you guys can check these, or you all can check these guys out at facebook.com/AIDSTheBand.
Yeah, because if it was Band-Aids, it would be like Band-Aids.
A conflict of interest.
Yeah.
We try to get on with that whole AIDS thing that Freddie Mercury still like did in the 80s.
Mhm.
They still around, but
Alright.
like we were told that we can't be a part of that.
Get up in front
Is
of
it
my
Live
seat,
AIDS?
too.
Yeah, Live AIDS, because we were Live AIDS before. You've seen us Live AIDS
Yes.
once.
What one do you want to start with?
Oh, do we have time for two songs or
You
one
have time
song?
for two.
Two. We got to do Masturbate.
Do we?
Yeah.
Because we practiced the other two so much.
So.
Well, don't give us those. Don't give us the ones that you got nailed down.
Well, we don't even have Masturbate nailed down. This fucker still tries to do it in different
fucked up
orders.
Masturbate last night, and it's like it doesn't even have instruments in it. So.
So, you want to do Your Mama
I
know I want to do.
or Golden Q?
Golden cues for Kev, but Mama's probably gonna get more laughs.
Yeah. Let's do Your Mama.
All right. So this song is about your mom. Your mama's so fat, Thanos had to snap twice. Your mama's so fat, she dips her aspirin in mayonnaise. Your mama's so fat that her cereal bowl comes with its own lifeguard. But I still do her in the Hoover. I still do Mama's so hairy, her vag made a fucking guest appearance on Duck Dynasty. Yeah. Your mom is so nasty, she needs to pour salt water down the front of her pants to keep the crabs fresh. Your mom is so disgusting that even her vibrator needs Viagra. But I'd still do her
Did you write those Yo Mama jokes?
We found those. I found those Yo
Yeah.
Mama jokes.
I
don't know if I could fucking actually
Claim.
write anything that good.
No, he has your mama jokes. Your mama's so nasty. Scorpion said, "Stay over there."
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking great.
What was another one I had? Your mama's so stupid she bought tickets to Xbox Live.
I love it. No, those are great. I like it.
Ready to do masturbate?
I really wish we could do the golden Q.
Let's do masturbate's funnier.
Yeah, but golden.
Masturbate's a tot.
All right, we got to get you guys in on this one though.
You gotta it's crowd
clap
participation with
You'll
us.
figure it out.
All right.
Oh,
Oh, oh, oh, oh, oh, masturbate, 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 masturbate. I'm gonna come, I'm gonna come, I'm gonna come, I'm gonna come when I masturbate, 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 masturbate. I'm gonna leave it in the soap dish, leave it in the soap dish, leave it in the soap dish, leave it in the soap dish. Masturbate, 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 masturbate. I'm gonna think about my mom, think about Doug's mom, think about Doug's mom, think about Doug's mom when I masturbate, masturbate, masturbate. It feels great! Masturbate, masturbate, masturbate.
You know, that's really convenient because I think about Doug's mom when I masturbate too. We've everybody in this
it's
room.
just something we all have in
happened. I
common.
didn't mean for it to happen, but it did happen. I'd been talking to her, and then I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can't talk to her on Facebook and have porn on the other screen and they start to mix together.
Yes.
I mean, I think about
should've
my mom when I
should've worn
masturbate
that
too.
tie she made me. She crocheted me a tie for real. Doug
Dude,
Jones
me too.
made me a tie.
Wait.
Dude, she made me a tie and a scarf, one of the best scarves I've ever had in my life.
She made me this. She gave me this crocheted bag that's like an eyeball, and it's like so fucking cool, dude.
My mom's good peeps.
Your mom just hands out crochet. Cool
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's
Among other things.
What's up, Bob? What's up, Heisenberg?
Heisenberg in
Oh,
the
yeah,
house.
what's
All right,
up?
dude. If nobody else knows, the Black Box, October 10th, Heisenberg. I'll be there. You should be there. It's gonna be a fucking epic show, for sure.
Nice.
Shameless plug.
Black box.
No,
like
that's a
it.
good
Yeah,
plug.
in Denver, for sure. 10
Not what
days
you think
from-
it is,
9
Marcus.
days from today.
It's. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh. I mean, I might
If
be
it,
down there anyway.
if it was what you think it was, it'd be called the Purple Box.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
True story. I think we have time for one more.
Fucking
Actually.
awesome.
You do know
That
we
is
have a
what I
bathhouse.
wanted to hear, Doug.
Hmm?
One
We have a
more.
male bathhouse in Denver.
Oh, now I gotta find
Do
my
we?
pick.
What's this wee
Yeah.
shit?
There we go. All right.
All right.
So what do you guys got for us?
Okay, so this song
How do
goes
you know
out to
that?
a friend that we don't really have anymore. His name's Kevin Book. We played a bunch of shows with his band, the Ugly Bumpers. We got drunk at his house a few times. We didn't really know him on a personal level, like we were calling him on the weekends. So we decided to dedicate this song to him about a night where we fucking played a show with his band. Where we opened the show we were supposed to close. It's called Golden Q.
This one's a bit of a rattlesnake. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Why do your tits look over your face? Can't that shit wait till we're on stage? Later tonight we'll steal what our name. What the fuck happened to the AOKs? Why do your tits look over your face? Can't that shit wait till we're on stage? Later tonight we'll steal what our name. What the fuck happened to the AOKs? Why do your tits look over your face? Can't that shit wait till we're on stage? Later tonight we'll steal what our name. What the fuck happened to the AOKs? Why do your tits look over your face? Can't that shit wait till we're on stage? Later tonight we'll steal what our name. What the fuck happened to the AOKs? Get drunk as fuck. open show, we were supposed to close. Son, we'll play our shows. Where the fuck did the rest man go? Son, we'll play our shows. Where the fuck did the rest man go? Where the fuck the rest man go? Son, we'll play our shows. Son, we'll play our shows. Where the fuck the rest man go? Yeah, just play it. Get drunk as fuck. Don't pay Mr. $100. Get drunk as fuck. Oh man. Don't pay Mr. $100. Had to go and queue and I'll drink a beer. Had to go and queue and I'm drunk on beer. Where the fuck? Had to go and queue and I'm drunk on beer. Had to go and queue and I'll kick your beer. Had to go and queue and I'll steal your beer. What the fuck happened to the ugly bumpers? Had to go and queue and I'll kick your beer. Had to go and queue and I'm drunk on beer. Had to go and queue and I'll steal your beer. What the fuck happened to the ugly bumpers? Had to go and queue and I'll kick a beer. Had to go and queue and I'll steal your beer. Had to go and queue and I'm drunk on beer. What the fuck happened to the ugly bumpers? Get drunk as fuck. Don't pay Mr. $100. Get drunk as fuck. Don't pay Sister $100. Oh man. No, don't applaud that. That was. I forgot the entire second verse.
Yeah, but that wasn't the important one.
We opened the show, we were supposed to close. Where the fuck did the rest man go? Sergeant Sodomy won't play our shows. What the fuck happened to the ugly bumpers?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, you don't know how much I fucking said that shit to myself today, yesterday, fucking practice. Oh my god, dude. Shit on my face.
I might.
You know what? I got drunk and fucked up the second verse.
The song was about being drunk.
Yeah, I feel
Apparently.
like you captured the essence.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, shit. We really appreciate you guys coming. That was fun.
Thanks for
Good
having us.
talk.
Yeah,
Talking
thanks.
fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Check out AIDS at facebook.com/AIDS the band. Next week we have Dan Jones and somebody else coming on. I can't remember. What was I going to say? We do want to say we're thinking about the families of a couple of good people that we lost this last week. Todd Brock, who was a fellow comedian in the scene and
bummer,
a guest on our show. He passed away this last Friday. And then Derek Hall from Mashadar and Chieftain passed away this week.
Oh my condolences
So-
to their families.
Yeah,
Sick.
definitely.
Condolences to their
Our
families. and-
AIDS hearts out to all who knew, all involved.
It's a downer, but we do want to send our loves out to the families and those affected by the loss. It's been crazy. So, Louis says, "Thank God they played that. I was going to give them $100."
Son of a bitch! God damn it, Louis! Come on, dog!
Louis, you know I know where you live.
Hey,
You know
Louis,
what? We're
Louis, just
coming
smoke
over
one with
after
me.
this.
Just smoke one with me.
I'm gonna
Cool.
fucking text you right now, Louis. You think you're all fucking gonna not give me $100? Oh, son of a bitch.
He's not. But anyways, yeah, next week we'll be here. You can get us live every Tuesday, 6 p.m. right here on facebook.com/notgovernedbyreason. You can also get us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, Podknife, Listen Notes, anywhere you can get fucking podcasts, you can find us.
Except iHeartRadio. Fuck that.
Yeah, Clear Channel don't want us.
Can people send us money still?
People can still send us money. We have, if you want to support us and help us get a new video switcher, we do accept Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, Facebook Pay, and we're trying to get our fucking Indiegogo up and running soon. So
When you say video switcher, you don't mean me, do you?
Yeah,
You mean the
totally.
box.
yes, we mean the box. We like you. We're not going to have John break the bad news of you're fired.
Yeah.
So we did.
At
I
season
don't know if you
22.
heard about that, but we fired our last producer.
That, yeah.
Through John Breaks Bad News on the show. It's fun. What's up, Andy? I'd like to thank all of you guys for watching. Check out AIDS the Band, facebook.com/AIDS the Band. Not the musical, AIDS the Band.
Oh man, that was a good musical.
It
It's
was.
the best.
Everyone has AIDS.
But we love you guys, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Peace out.